Sean, you hit the got it button, please. I think there's two got it buttons.
Oh, got it here.
Got it.
Three got it.
Three got it button.
Blue Dan.
All right. Today is April 28th. This is the Town of Crestone Board of Trustees meeting. It's being held both in person and via Zoom. The time is 9:31. To ensure timely completion of the town's business, the following procedures will be followed. All participants must keep microphones muted and videos turned off except during citizens' comments or when called on to speak by the board. Per 7.3 of our rules and procedures of order, we allow 15 minutes total for citizens' comments. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address before speaking. If your comments exceed more than 3 minutes or the allotted time expires, please send your comments to town hall as correspondence for the board's response. If multiple citizens share the same comments, please be brief. Unspoken comments can be submitted to town hall for inclusion as correspondence at the next regular meeting. Ariel, will you do a roll call for us, please?
Mayor Meyer,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore, the Paulusi,
Here.
Trustee Marinakis,
Here.
Trustee Martinez,
Here.
Trustee Lakai,
Here.
Trustee Ogilvie here, and Trustee Roth is absent without notice.
Did you know about this? I sent it. I'm gonna text him anyways. Mm-hmm.
I saw it replace.
Really?
He knows he's coming.
He knows?
He said.
Oh. Okay, next, vision statement, mission statement,
Here we go.
wanna read it?
Yeah. Historic Crestone, Colorado exemplifies small mountain town beauty within a community committed to multi-generational well-being. The town continues to celebrate its pioneering spirit and unique diversity through contemporary self-reliance. Crestone's goals are to enhance economic viability, environmental preservation, sustainable living practices, and social responsibility.
Thank you, Sean. Next, we have approval of agenda, any additions, deletions? Yes.
So, I'm wondering if some of these things can't go into a regular monthly meeting. I mean, we, for a long time, had just the one monthly regular meeting and the second meeting only if we really had something very necessary for timing to have another special meeting. And so I'm just wondering if some of these things can just be part of our regular monthly meeting and we keep the second meeting to more things that really need to be addressed now rather than regular orders of business. So I might look at things, unless there's some urgency, then I'm happy to deal with things of urgency. But things like the drone policy or you know, the organizational chart and job descriptions, seems like that could go, unless there's a real need to do that now. I would just as soon see those things, you know, go to our regular monthly meetings. I mean, if we need to have that organizational chart now for some pressing reason, okay, but to me, that just seems like regular order of business rather than something that's really on a deadline.
Yeah.
Exception is we've been sitting on that organizational chart for almost a year now, we've done nothing. Well, it'd be nice to kind of get it off our plate.
A lot of the stuff that's on this meeting, when we put on this meeting from our last regular meeting.
You know, and I'm okay with that, and like the drone policy can wait unless, I'm seeing a real trend that we're having 2 regular meetings a month. Rather than one and then a special meeting if we need it. And you know, it just takes up a lot of trustee time, people are taking time off of work and, you know, we're really only getting paid the same rate and, so I would just like to see us just kind of be clear that we only put on the special meeting things that really need to be addressed in a more timely fashion that can't really wait until the next meeting. So that's my thoughts. If anybody, I'm okay with the agenda as presented, but I just wanna
Well,
bring this up.
I agree, and I'm hoping that this meeting will end, and we'll be able to just end it at 12:30.
Okay,
So if there's things as we're moving forward, we can,
move it.
we can move it.
Okay.
So,
Can I make the motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
okay, any more discussion? Anything else to talk about? Okay,
I have one.
Yes.
Did you wanna add Ms. Spence to the agenda instead of just having to speak during citizens' comments, then you could have more time. It's not.
yeah, but we can't really
But they
respond
can
during
respond to you.
citizens' comments.
Okay.
So do you wanna put it under old business?
Sure.
I'm struggling. I don't even see. Number 14.
Flip.
14. Oh,
If
mine
you
got cut
flip-
off.
Just flip it
Oh.
over.
Oh, nice. Alright, so it's now we're on. Is that okay?
Thank you.
So we have one update. So the motion would be to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor?
Alright.
Okay, next we have approval of minutes from April 14th. Any changes, updates?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of April 14th.
For a second,
Second.
discussion? Yes.
On 15C, the formal decision regarding the Black grant. It refers to the town hall stretcher grant. I thought we were gonna go for a 2-year extension on that, since we don't have another place to go. I thought we were just gonna keep that going for the next 2 years, and that it wasn't just completely quit.
I think what we decided was that, Kizen wanted to collect some more information and we were gonna bring it to the next regular meeting. And depending on the information that was brought, we were gonna then decide if we were gonna just cut the grant or do the extension, because we have the time to do that.
Okay.
Does everyone
Because
else
it
remember
says,
that?
Rob mentioned to withdraw from the CDBG grant.
That's not
Completely.
the town.
That's not the,
Yeah,
that was the,
That's the lease.
It mentions
Yeah.
the town hall structure. So I was curious,
did you hear what Ariel said, Kim?
but it's downtown.
The CDBG grant is for the wastewater extension, and you de-obligated from that one and, I think the second sentence says that you wanted, trustee Lakai wanted more information before deciding on the other grant, so
Okay.
it's on the agenda for today.
All right. Thank you.
anything else in the minutes on the discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Alright.
Alright, moving along, we have citizens' comments.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, microphone perhaps?
Oh.
Awesome.
Nathan, good.
154 Cottonwood Street as well as 1010 Pinion Road. 2 addresses, right? So, again, good morning. Thank you guys for doing all your hard work here. Working with my mom, I'm gonna get a power of attorney from her to act on her behalf because she's doesn't wanna interface. So I'll be her, once I get that, I'll bring it to you guys and that way I can do what needs to be done on her behalf. So regarding my temporary situation that everybody's aware of, I've been being off my farm and over here working with my mom, helping her at her place, and Juniper, my son, down in Tobacco. I've had to move things here. Andrew and I had a brief conversation when I first moved stuff. He says, yeah, as long as it's not like long term, it's probably fine, and I talked to Brant and Benjamin and every other fellow, informally, obviously. So this is just a, understanding that once I get that power of attorney from her, I will come in and do whatever needs to be done regarding the permit and the studio at her property. And as far as getting stuff off the town right away, I plan on doing that in the next few weeks. I had my tractors here. And I'll be doing that. Yeah, and everything I've got from the town so far has been informal. I did ask my mom if she got any communications from the town. She said no. So, so I understand. I talked to Splendid, I got the power, the utility right away and all that kind of stuff. There's a small easement there that we're working with, trying to keep the flood off that studio, which Brent knows. I think I told Andrew too before I did that work, just to get it where the water will flow through there. And then when we do get a flood, and then that way that old historic barn studio will have won't get any further damage in there. So that's happening. And then permit wise, I requested permits, but all I get is Cora request form, which is fine, but my mom doesn't like it. And I'm like, Mom, but she's like, I'm not, can't we just get a building permit? And I'm like, well, I think so, but I can't. So far, I've requested two times and I get a
We have 15 seconds, by the way.
Okay, thanks, Benjamin. So anyway, that's really what I want to let you guys know because I've heard, from 2 different people that I have complaints up there. So I'm addressing that. And I would like the town, if they can, send my mom something. So then she'll have, all right, thank you. You're welcome.
Ariel, I think Anya's trying to get in. Okay, more citizens' comments. You're gonna wait until you're, you can make a citizen comment if you'd like, but also you're on the agenda now, so. The problem is that you're gonna be waiting until we get through some stuff, or we can.
Okay, I'll make a really quick citizens comment, and then I'll talk later, but I'll give you a second. to look at you. Quick citizens comment in regard to the shop behind here. Start with the good news. That just opened up. It'll be open in 30 days for me to move in. Unfortunate news is I believe there is a discrepancy, which I will discuss later, between what was said in the meeting on February 10th and what actually was put down into the minutes that I was able to find on Saturday. So just a heads up, I want to discuss that with you later. Thank you so much for giving me a minute to make the comment and the work you guys do here. I understand things might get crossed sometimes when things are being typed and things are being said. So I just want to review the motion that was made that day, exactly what was said and what was voted upon. And that's it. That's my time. Sure. Thank you.
Any more citizens' comments? Anybody online would like to make a citizen's comment? Okay. We will move along. Thank you, Nathan. Next, we're gonna go presentation of bills. We have 4 bills in our agenda. Any comments about those?
I've got a couple. If you've taken a moment to look at the utility bills, from
Yeah.
Samuel's, a rural electric cooperative, we're paying. And I don't, maybe there's electric heat upstairs, but the bill for the upstairs part of this building was $78 per month, and it's vacant. I don't know why that would be. The other is for the downstairs here, it's 47. And, so we need to maybe have staff look and see what's up there, if there's electric heat, if they can cut it down to a more reasonable temperature. And, the other thing I noticed, this has probably gone on forever, on a lot of our accounts here, different areas through the town, we're paying more in a service charge than we are for the electricity we're using, like 400% more. But, one case here, the service charge is $40, and we had like,
78 cents.
yeah, one was even less. So,
Oh, the charging stations, I don't understand why that.
yeah, and there was another one, Pearl Park, I think it was. And I didn't, once I saw that, I didn't go through all of them, but I figured it was pretty much the same everywhere. I'm even looking at the flow meter. We got a service charge of $44 and that's. There was no electricity used. And so what I'm getting at with some of these situations, and this might not be the time to do it, but what we want to consider when we have that extremely low usage is eliminating that account and seeing if we can do a solar deal. Now, I don't know what else, summertime, if events are pulling electricity off that, we'll have to find out from staff, but it's an idea. We probably, for those size of solar panels for the electricity they're using, 2 months of service charge would probably be equivalent to, if not even still more than the panel itself.
Yeah.
Except some of this stuff is AC, and then you have to have like an inverter and all that, in order to run it.
Well, solar power, I mean, I've got a couple of little panels for camping and stuff, it's really not my forte on
Yeah.
anything that we.
Usually with direct solar panels, it's DC power, and it would run like DC, whatever it is, but if you wanna run what they're running, it's AC, so that you'd have to have an inverter and probably batteries and, the whole setup, charge controller.
It could be interesting though, especially if, as we have to like replace things like well pumps and stuff, because they make DC well pumps that run direct off of
So,
solar panels. Like those, that could be interesting options to, like,
I would say,
especially as we have to replace them. They might even be more reliable than some of our on-grid power.
For solar.
DC pumps, they usually, like I had one on my well. And in order to get a lot of water out of it, you actually had to have the AC running, so I had to hook my generator up. Otherwise, it was just like a trickle, it was nice to just have a trickle all the time,
Right,
when it's just sun shining, it's pumping.
yeah,
But, usually to really pump water, you need. the AC.
extra horsepower.
You do.
Yeah.
And DC pumps are great, like if we had like a well, a storage tank, or a well that was just like one well that was on there that was just consistently pumping
Yeah,
when the sun was shining, but I don't even think we would be able to pump it up to hill with the DC. That's.
Yeah.
It's just they're just not that powerful. They're great, they're really cool, so. Anyway, as far as these bills, how you want?
I would recommend that the board approve the payment of all the bills, I just wanted to make that note on the service charge versus the amount of electricity used.
Yeah, I
And
think
see
we
if
should,
anybody come up with an idea.
so I think we should direct the staff to check on the one upstairs for sure.
Yeah.
And then I noticed in February it was pretty high as far as the usage was even higher in February, more than kind of like off the on that particular bill. What was the other one that you were, there was one that we might be able to just shut off, the electric charging station.
We, from what I understand, I talked to the electric company months ago. I think it was maybe the last summer when the charging station started becoming an issue.
Right.
And they said that whether we shut it off or not, they're gonna still charge us the service fee, because we've entered into a contract with them, which I think goes for another 6 years.
Jeez. Well, I know Brent's looking into that, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what the gal told me, and I'm doing it from memory, so it could be off on the years, but. Anyhow,
and then as far as, Seth, I know we've keep bringing up that he should turn in a itemized thing. But we're not getting that.
yeah.
What did you? Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like, it says see invoice date, but. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think, I mean. We talked to him last time, he was working on the IGA and getting that finished up and. You know, he was working on some of those like resolutions and whatnot, so. I'm confident that like he's using all of those 10 hours, but. We can just gently remind him that we would like an itemized invoice with his,
It might cost more.
to have them itemize an invoice, right? Totally.
One of the problems is because he's not showing up to our meetings, we're having a little bit of communication issues. Things are getting lost in communication. Both Ariel and I kind of noticed that with various things, and so, you know, it's a problem because if he comes here, then it's like, what, 5 hours of his time, so then he only has 5 hours left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
One thing I discussed that I was gonna bring up during my clerk's report, I brought it up to him to see if it might be helpful, but I'm gonna start doing minutes like directly after the meeting and then disseminate it to everyone, board and attorneys, and ideally maybe that will help with some of the communication issues with the attorney.
we'll see. So I would entertain a motion to, pay these bills.
I would make a motion to pay the bills.
Second,
Second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys. Paying the bills. Next we have, treasurer's report. I asked Ariel to put some reports on there. They're pretty complex. You wanna discuss them a little bit?
Sure, I included a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet statement, those are on the recommendation of our bookkeeper, accountant, Andrea. I also included a budget versus actuals sheet, that reflects our current 2025 budget versus what's actually being spent, and it is an accrual basis, for that report. I looked through it. I won't say I went into it in too much detail, I just wanted to see how we were doing in certain areas and. This report separates things into months, so. It breaks down your entire budget for the year into 12-month increments. So it does look like we're over in a couple of areas on spending, but that's just based on the month. That's something that we can bring down in the future and get back into place. And also, it looks like we're up in a lot of areas. There's more revenue coming in monthly than was anticipated, I would say. So,
I had a question about, I was really, the one that stood out the most for me was on number. Let's see if I can find it. 62100 Public Works Personnel. 1 month, you know, I'm seeing like. Every month is good except for the last month, which. I think it's March. April 1 to 24, it's up like 683%.
Sorry, I just got it.
Okay, so 62100. All the way across to April. When I see like a huge increase like that, it kind of. See that?
I don't see anything next to 62100. That's like all one.
62100 Public Works, it's total Public Works personnel.
My line is blank for public works personnel.
Go down a little bit, to the. Right here.
They're on the spreadsheet, I don't know.
Professional services, $8,000.
Oh.
You know what that is?
The professional services, I'm having it like the landscaping.
8,000.
Is that?
This seems high, I mean, we're going along for professional services.
I don't know off the top of my head what that would be, but,
You just mentioned landscaping, did we get a bill for the landscape?
I believe Brent has it over there, I haven't seen it. Yeah, so.
Hey Brent, you know,
I haven't worked with the budget, I just
What
heard that
about
you guys were talking about.
SGM
um,
and the cemetery stuff?
we haven't paid them yet.
No, we haven't gotten that bill yet.
The fire model.
Excuse me, we haven't gotten the bill for the landscaping that was done here.
$3,000, $3,200 for the cleanup, there's three. You know,
Does this include the potatoes are?
Mateo, you know, we paid 30 or 2,800, I think, for Mateo's cleanup. And then there was nutrition, I'd have to.
We didn't get
Oh,
that
yeah,
bill.
that makes sense, it was the
I mean, the-
electrician, it was like the propane issue that we had, when they came out.
Yeah, we've had boiler issues, these are all, I mean, that would be.
It was this was just for the month of April, from April 1st to 24th.
Yeah. I don't have
That's for the month of March, which would have been those things that we talked about, and it would have been things from February as well, because it's the.
Oh, March, okay.
What about the fire bottle, maintenance?
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Excuse me.
fire extinguisher.
A Couple times I heard Mateo's bill come up, well, I've not seen Mateo's bill.
You've already, yeah, you guys have seen, you guys approved the bill and I think should have been in the packet.
I haven't gotten this from.
The one, the last one.
No, not.
What you guys approved.
There's only, I think there are only 3 or 4 bills in this one, and Mateo's has not been in it.
So are we not getting bills that are getting paid or?
Mateo issued a bill that you guys approved for the cleanup. I paid it.
Where's the bill? I've never seen the bill.
I think there was a miscommunication, I don't think you gave me that bill, did you? You paid it, because everything approved.
Well, my understanding
It
was
had
that
been
it's gonna be,
approved in motion, but it hadn't been approved in physical.
Right.
So I let Brett know that I need to see all of the invoices, so you guys can doing those.
They still need to go through this process that we did, whether it was previously approved by the board or not. That bill still needs to come through.
and that's, that's what she and I talked about, but I had already, that's probably been paid, because it was paid in quick.
I hope not.
Well, if not, then it was our mistake. But it was the amount that you guys approved.
Cause it's never come across my desk or yours.
I haven't seen it. Voices now.
Do we approve it too? I mean, do we approve
I've never
for
seen
his
it.
I
work?
think we approved up to a certain amount, but not
Yeah,
the actual bill.
but let's, what we approved was for another contractor who was going to do a certain amount of work. And then we were gonna see how that went and decide whether to extend it or not, up to or not exceeding a number. That person backed out and then Mateo stepped forward and said he would do the work somewhat under the same condition. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either. I did talk to him about it and I said, I reminded him that all of the bills and invoices need to come through here to you guys before we pay them.
So we're.
That's why I've asked him to print it out now. I
Okay,
just don't think he understood that fully. And
well,
ideally, especially
Or
now,
convenient.
after talking about it again.
Or
then he
conveniently.
does.
Sorry, I didn't.
No,
No,
I
it's
mean-
just, I didn't see it either. I didn't feel comfortable with that, so that's why we talked about that. Everything has to come through you guys.
everything, yeah. Yeah. So, as far as the treasurer's report, is there any other questions about stuff?
I have one,
Yeah.
my favorite question. Have you heard from, anything from?
I haven't heard from them yet. I will reach out this week, and I did notice that we're still not getting HUP funds, so I don't know if they're still processing it or.
I looked on, report about the entire state, and it looks like, unless what I've got is outdated, no one, not the counties or the municipalities, have gotten anything since January.
I was a little bit confused by that too. I looked at, they sent like a report to my email and it was like 0, 0, 0 across the board.
Yeah.
For everyone, so. I don't know what's going on, but I'll find out.
Has the annual HUP report been submitted?
Oh, yeah,
Yes, okay. And then, they normally send another form that you document what you've received and they'll hold your funds unless that report, it's the second report that comes through.
Do you have a contact with Huft?
the very weak one.
Yeah, flimsy contact at best, all I can get is emails. And I don't always get a response.
Okay, so you'll reach out to them? Okay. And then the only other question I had is it's on both the budget and actuals as well as our profit and loss. It's says ask my accountant for 17,000.
Which report?
It's on the profit and loss at the very bottom,
It's total.
and it for negative 17,464. Is that the accrual?
No, anything for ask my accountant is things that Andrea sets aside for me that she doesn't know where to categorize them. I went through and categorized about 17,000 worth of transactions, so. That's probably why, but I don't know why it's negative. I'd be happy to ask her to explain that better. I don't know. That's all I know about ask my accountant.
Okay, if you look at the bottom of the budget versus actuals. At the very bottom. Line. It says miscellaneous, where it's ask my accountant, there's like. Goes across, yeah, there's a 17 and then in April it's 15, so it comes to a total of negative 35,000. Understand?
Where are you looking at, cause I don't see
It's
that.
all the way at the very bottom, 6900 of the other expenses.
Are you still looking at profit and loss?
No, I'm sorry, I said on the reconciliation,
The budget versus.
budget versus
actual.
actuals.
Yeah, it says reconciliation discrepancies, so I don't know, when I read that, to me, it says stuff that just like hasn't been fully categorized yet.
That's,
It's showing at the beginning or at the end of the month what was uncategorized, so these are all things that we've worked on cleaning up together, so there was 1,000 that we worked on in January. And then there was a lot that we worked on this April, that's that like 15,000 that I had to categorize over.
so we're still negative
It's like itemization.
35,000.
That's the total for the year, for what we worked on. Something. 15,000, 17,000.
Yeah, it seems like the way that this spreadsheet works is like, this is not necessarily representative of what's uncategorized right now, it's the total of what
Was categorized.
was categorized.
Categorized in that month.
Yeah.
So, and it would definitely have got much higher in March and April because. The implementation of the water sewer billing system into our QuickBooks. Left her with a lot of questions of what was, she had never seen things like that before, so she didn't know like what was a water sewer bill or what was. Something different, so we had to go through a lot and me explaining to her like who our customers are and what are the water sewer bills. And then in April, we finally got access to the credit card. And so that's where all those categorizations came in, is I had to categorize for the entire, pretty much since October, since you're calling the treasurer.
So could this be kind of a work in progress and we're just gonna keep moving forward with?
Yeah, and you're always gonna see it, and it's always gonna be like that, it's gonna show, like these negative numbers that I don't have to categorize. Ideally, it'll be less and less as she gets more, comfortable with our expenses or with our invoicing as well. But that also, I mean, it's a negative one, so it's not like you spent that or it's like coming.
What's it balance with a positive? It's a other, net other income. So. Okay, so can we go back real quick to this? What's,
I'd like to look at this a little bit more.
it's already paid though.
Pardon me?
They already paid it.
He already paid it, he said he paid it through QuickBooks. At least one or two of them.
How can he pay it through QuickBooks?
Mateo sent him a QuickBooks link to,
That should never be done. Never, ever be done.
I completely understand.
I would send this contractor a letter saying to not do any more work on this project.
I also asked that everyone send invoices to me, to
Yeah.
crestone@gmail.com. It's confusing to have invoices go to Patty and to Brent and to everyone else, and then have them come to me through third parties. So
They
I've
only,
been asking contractors to send them directly to me from now on.
their staff signature on these documents tells you that it's okay, tell us.
Can I see it?
$3,100.
Whoa.
Well, it just upsets me, that's public works job. They never got paid extra for doing their job.
Is there more of these? I mean, are there more invoices that we're not seeing out there?
I
You know,
I don't know for sure, but I know that I have been trying to button it up since.
Brett, this is really a big deal. You don't have any authority to pay a bill. You can approve that the work had been done, and it's okay to pay the bill, but
It was my mistake because it came through QuickBooks and a lot of times I will just pay it. And I was like, well, so I went to Ariel and she clarified for me that it needed to, that it needed to go for you guys first. Before, I said, it was my misunderstanding, I said, well, they approved it, so I went ahead and paid it. And no, it needs to go, when we get the invoice, it needs to go back to you guys for approval.
Yeah, but let's make that clear. What we approved was to allow another contractor to come in under some limitations and do it, and Mateo stepped up and, when she backed out, and said she would do that. But that was not, that was the concept of the project, not prepaying the bill. We just don't do that. We just don't prepay bills. So whatever you hear from the board, it's never implied that that happens. This just can't happen again.
Okay, yeah.
Is there any other ones that are out there like this?
There's one, but I'm not submitted it until he sent it to Ariel and, I didn't call him. Yeah,
Okay.
and he did send it to you, but. So the one he sent me is not even the same invoice number, so I'm not gonna do anything with it, so. Yeah, it was my mistake, I assumed that since you guys approved it, that Ariel let me know that wasn't the case.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're all on the same page.
Yeah, that won't happen again, in fact, I've already got one that, this next one, I've already said, you know, it needs to go through you guys, so I've already told him that, so. Yeah, my mistake.
Okay. Next, any more on the treasurer's report that we want to talk about? Thank you, Ariel, for putting these in there. Obviously, I think this is kind of something that we need to start looking at more. If everybody could please start looking at the balance sheets, the profit and loss, as well as the budget versus actuals, and start, yeah.
Maybe too, like, you know, maybe we should set up a finance committee meeting and try to get Andrea on it too, just so we can have, like, it's almost mid-year. So maybe we should like get a finance committee meeting together, get her on it and just like have, you know, a little catch up. And we really should be, you know, kind of keeping our eyes stayed towards like the supplemental budget and the 2026 budget. So, I don't know, it'd be nice to talk to her and then she can like, we can all be on the same page.
Is this your way of telling us you're withdrawing your resignation?
I haven't resigned yet. And until then, I will continue to have good ideas.
So when are you available? Cause you're kind of the one.
I'm gonna be, getting the drowning worms in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Starting.
It'll probably be the first week of June.
So you're all of me.
No. Rain is coming.
I'm coming. I'm coming. We're gonna go catch tuna.
Oh, nice.
You use words in the Pacific Ocean?
These are special kind.
Big words.
Alright, so we have time,
Yeah,
a little time.
Yeah. I
Okay,
might have to zoom, but yeah, we have.
okay. Can you talk to Andrew about setting up a time for a public,
Finance committee.
finance?
Absolutely. One thing I do wanna add into the report too is I, let our auditor know that, the second draft had been approved of the audit. And so he's working on a finalized draft now, that he'll give to me and I'll file with the state. He said he'll also send us 10 bound copies of the audit. If we need more, let him know. I don't know that we need more, 10 seems a lot. And he'll also send us his contract for 24, starting the 2024 audit, and wants us to have that done and submitted on time, which I believe the date was July 31st of this year is when it's due. And when we have all of that information, that's when we should start working on our supplemental budget, because we'll have all the beginning fund balance numbers, we'll have a better idea of our finances, and ideally at that point we'll be in a better space. to do our 2026 budget and just really be on track, like financially, but.
But yeah, to reach out to Andrew and just see if we can set up a time. Preferably, maybe like an evening. The next week or two. And then we never did our public works meeting either.
No, we got one scheduled for the fifth,
Okay.
is that right?
Yes, May 5th at
I won't be here.
4:30 P.M.
I'm on vacation.
That's okay, we can still have a meeting.
Okay.
I got it, stuff for the agenda.
I was ready on the 21st, but
We changed that.
yeah. Okay, let's move along to, so any more, treasurer's good, we're good? Thank you, treasurer. Finance committee report, we don't have that, but that's gonna be a meeting that is gonna happen in the next week, hopefully with Andrea. My report, I don't have a formal report, I just, I was reading this, Colorado Municipal League, thing, and we're right on the cover, back to the basics. And I intuited that, because I think a lot of towns are dealing with, the complexities of projects that are, either not being funded by the feds, or, things that are changing in municipalities, so I think they're trying to say that, we do need to start really coming back to the basics, which are our, these balance sheets, this profit and loss, and this actuals are really basic. They're, even though they're very complex, they're still very basic on what we're supposed to be studying and looking at. I know it's really difficult for all of us, because we're not all, accountants, we don't really understand it, but hopefully as we keep looking at it and keep bringing stuff up, things will start to become more clear, to us, so keep using those. The other very basic stuff is noticing and keeping the public informed of what we're doing. So I just encourage us to stay on the note. I know you're doing that, right? I mean, you're noticing, so you're bringing them out to the post office, and we have
I
our,
notice every meeting, including our work sessions, and every of our boxes, the two at town hall, the one at the post office. There's also an agenda contact list that we have as well, and they get emailed with the agenda and the packet. And, as I have more bandwidth, toying with the idea of posting on Facebook as well. Maybe in the future.
and then the only other thing I was thinking was, we were looking for like videos, YouTube, and we had, I don't know if those are,
Yeah, that was a bandwidth problem. That was also at the time when you decided that, we had Sarah on staff, and she was very technologically savvy and able to help with that. But now I don't have that same technology support, so most of the IT falls on to me to do. Also, that is something that's on my to-do list, to have those meetings up to date. But to be honest with you, I haven't had anyone request them, and if they do request them, then I give them a thumb drive with the meeting on it. Like you could talk to Ari, she's come in a few times and asked for videos, and I put them.
okay. And then lastly on our, well, not lastly, but on our, minutes, if you could just highlight or figure out a way to take the motions and either underline them or bold, make them bold or something, so they're separated, so that each motion is, separated from the rest of the. It's really helpful when you're going back and looking at stuff,
I could definitely highlight them for you.
or something, some way of,
I don't have, again, it's a technological thing, like
Oh.
the software I use doesn't allow for bolding.
Underline.
Underlines or underlining of it, but I myself can go back and highlight it for you.
or you could separate it into like a separate box, the motion.
I can't separate, I can show you sometime what I'm
Okay.
working with, but I can't.
Okay.
do all the things,
Alright,
but I can highlight it for you for sure.
so in this CML thing, they said, at its heart, back to the basics is about reinforcing the essential responsibilities of effective local government. It's a commitment to ensuring that the services residents rely on, clean water, safe streets and parks, economic vibrancy and responsive public safety are delivered consistently and effectively. It's about prioritizing transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility while fostering a culture of leadership that listens and engages with the community. It's also about reconnecting with the why of public service. Why do people run for office? Why do municipal staff dedicate their careers to local government? The answer lies in a shared commitment to public service, one that transcends personal interests or public noise and centers on making a real difference in people's lives. This initiative reminds us that public service is not just a job or a title, it's a calling and a responsibility. It's about building trust, fostering connections, and creating communities where everyone feels heard and valued. So then they bring up, back to the basics, it's not just a reflection, has real world applications for elected officials, municipal staff, and engaged residents. Here's how the initiative will take shape: empowering elected officials, preparing future leaders, supporting municipal staff, and promoting civility in governance. So anybody wants to read it, it's pretty good. Point being that, you know, I think Ariel, as clerk, treasurer, possibly administrator, is doing a great job getting back to the basics. And we had a meeting recently, and she says that it's not gonna happen right away, and I totally agree with that. This has been an ongoing process of really pulling the office back together, going through a lot of stuff that's just been, cluttering the situation in there. A lot of difficulties just, getting back in line with all of the, yearly responsibilities. So just everybody be patient, but also be proactive and step in where you can. I really encourage that. We had a really good meeting with our town engineer about the cemetery. We got him over that file, right? The DW, it's a file that basically allows him to put into his CAD machine. He can run this survey in CAD, and he's gonna really lay out a good, or a couple of them are gonna lay out a really nice plan for us to move forward with this cemetery. We talked about doing it in small phases and how we're gonna, be able to expand in probably two different directions, north and west. So looking forward to that. And then he's gonna have one public meeting with us, to be able to show us what he did, and then we'll decide how we wanna implement it. The other thing is, meeting with people. We're setting up a meeting with the county commissioners, Dennis and I, regarding the Huff stuff, the road stuff. I was gonna see if there's other stuff that we wanna discuss, so that's a big deal. Dana reached out to the BLM, and, you wanna talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I reached out to BLM and they got back to me just a couple days ago. And, I haven't reached back, I haven't emailed him back yet, but I'll do that today. But he seems, he's down to have a meeting, so I don't know, one thing I did wanna ask is if people want me to try to get him to come to a regular meeting and talk to all of us, or should I just try to set up like a small meeting? Benji said he would be interested in having a meeting with the BLM guy. If anyone else is interested, then we can try to make that happen, otherwise I can just try to have it, the schedule work out for a small group.
Let's see what he says, and
Okay.
see if he wants, we can just give him the date of our regular meeting, put it on the agenda. If
Yeah,
that's what he wants to do, otherwise we can set up a.
yeah, so I'll just reach out and just see what, what works for him, but. Yeah, he was, it wasn't like heartfelt or anything, but he was down to talk.
But what was the purpose of that being to be?
What I reached out to him about was that, and you know, it mostly pertains to the road. That Stephen Elaine's road / Cemetery Road and, so, you know, I didn't specifically say like, this is the problem we're having. I said we're having access issues with our people and we need more information. So that was kind of, and then as an extension of that with the cemetery, if, you know, it turns out we can't come to some conclusion around the existing road, then maybe talking to them about making our own sort of easement road onto the BLM, and what that process would look like with them. So.
There was some talk that BLM really wanted that road closed. They didn't want people going out there the way that they were, so they encouraged Steve to close it, and, it turns out that, you know, we wanna find that out for ourselves and also see if there's a way that if we did build our own road through the cemetery somehow, that we could link up with BLM without, because you can't just carve a new road on BLM land, we'd have to get permission. So, that's a big deal. Really get just really building relationships too. That's another, you know, thing that I think brings us back to the basics is, you know, we have a bunch of different entities that work around us, county, Forest Service, BLM, and obviously the national park and all that, but it's a lot, you know, they're not joining us the same way that BLM and Forest Service do. In county, so I'm just trying to encourage us to start really talking to people and trying to get that going, and you even encourage that.
I think it's important, and I didn't put it on this month's agenda, but it's things we've talked about in the past. And I have taken photos of over on the wildlife refuge where even before it became the wildlife refuge, the private owner had put in a couple of sprinkler systems and for what, 2 years, and then they abandoned it. And those 2 sprinkler areas have never been reseeded. And it's a constant dust storm, sandstorm, anytime the wind goes. And we talked about this a few years ago at the town hall. And no action was really taken, but I've taken photos of it, and it's a public health and safety issue. There's sometimes the T road coming up past there, the visibility is almost gone. And then what we're all subject to as far as air quality goes. And I feel like as part of this relationship is to encourage them to please reseed, water, do what it takes to mitigate that hazard. So I maybe we could put that on next month's agenda, but I've taken photos of it. And I just think.
Happened yesterday. I saw it yesterday, it was a huge dust storm that was,
It was bad.
I mean, you couldn't even see, like
Yeah.
you were driving out and it just went blank.
But I mean, have the safety on the T road, but also public health, air quality, public health is.
So is that the refuge that we would talk to?
The refuge, yeah, there's those 2 sprinkler quarters that they dug up and then that was back under, I think, when Gary Boyce had the property. And,
Well,
Fish and Wildlife has never mitigated that. And I don't think the sprinklers work, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I would like, you know, if you have a connection there,
I don't really, I used to with, oh, what's his name, Ron Garcia. But he's been gone for like about 3 years or so now. So I don't have a connection anymore.
well, this just goes to the point that we just, like, you know, is one relationship at a time. We're gonna be meeting with the county, hopefully we're meeting with the BLM. Somebody wants to reach out to Forest, or, I'm sorry, to Fish and Wildlife, that would be great.
Well, if we put it on next month's agenda, what I would suggest at that time is we look at putting a letter with some photographs of. Saying, you know, we'd like some help here.
So we'll put it on another agenda as far as keep building these relationships.
Something that helps me is knowing like the title of what to put. I know it's a lot.
How about letter to, Fish and Wildlife regarding, dust mitigation.
Perfect.
Okay, I don't really have much as far as, my report. I'll have more on our regular meeting, but just staying, staying diligent, keeping the communication up. If you guys can't make it to meetings, like I just got a thing from Lonnie, says he can't make it, so, if, he's getting ready for travel. So if you know you can't make it to a meeting, or you can't make it, please communicate with Ariel so she knows. I know Sean was having an issue with calendars. Make sure that you're up on the calendars and that you're whatever,
If you get on the Google Calendar,
yeah.
maybe one of you guys.
All she has to do is invite you to it, and,
Oh, yeah, oh, cool.
and I'm sure she's done it in the past, but.
I could've got it invited, but I never clicked on it.
So yeah, download your calendar so that you know what's coming up, and then if you're not gonna make it, then let us know so that there's more communication. All right, moving on to clerks, actually, let's it's 10:30, let's take a 7-minute break. Come back to the clerk's report.
Last.
So, okay, well, maybe, so, I said, well, you're gonna try to push it, I said, I'm gonna go fishing for this, I'm really gonna just walk with you, she's gonna have to like clean this up. That's what I'm gonna finish it.
My dad was telling me that.
Yes, mostly, excuse me, I'm getting things so. And then we go place down in Toast Santos. Well, that's all the other issues.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way. There's no sense in. How about someone? That's the thing.
So.
Oh, so, but it was on what I'm saying.
Someone is
I've been in the editor.
her plan was streaming on them.
But it's really cool for shortcasting, but I don't go on.
Make it crazy.
Because that's crazy. It's kind of, yeah.
And then, that's something that we should, just questions from her.
You know, these officials, sure, sure. I like to get it, let's get it.
It's just like.
That's.
And, so, yeah. I can look on.
Yeah. And it needs to be. And with a ray like. So that's it.
That's much of
Yeah, so those are probably.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm talking to Rachel.
Yeah, just coding, you can, I'll look at them.
Your son is backwards.
I mean, at least kind of.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. He said like. Yeah. But it's got to be.
So we're gonna move on to the clerk's report.
I don't have, I don't have a formal report from you guys today. I will always at the regular meeting, but just some updates that I wanted to go over. I did talk to Chelsea about the Saturday market and she was very keen to the idea of the Board of Trustees having a booth at those Saturday markets. So whatever I can do to help facilitate that, let me know if you want like a sign up sheet for those Saturdays and we could get like 1 or 2 trustees. I would keep it at 2 because otherwise I'll have to notice it as a public meeting. But if you do want to have 3, just let me know and I will notice it as well. With that being said, she was also, well, let me back up one thing. A time ago, I created like a customer satisfaction survey for the town. And I was thinking that that would be a good time to roll that out at those the market. I'll just give you whoever is gonna be manning the booth, like a couple of those and you could hand these out to people and they can drop them back onto the office. You could get feedback from the public just about everything with our town operations.
Do you wanna call a customer or do you wanna call?
I'm gonna change the name, I can call it town satisfaction survey, that's just the title I'm used to from customer service, is the customer satisfaction survey. Chelsea was wondering, however, if she needs insurance to use the stage during those Saturday markets, other events. We've had, people have had to get insurance, for example, Nick Navaris has liability insurance for the 4th of July. Crestone Performances gets insurance for the music festival. So she was wondering.
I
how
think
that
it's a
works for her.
Sursa question. Whether we need to get additional insurance, if we're the ones hosting the Saturday market, if it's something that we would have to get extra insurance for.
Okay,
Or they would have
Is
it.
anyone gonna be on the stage or is this gonna be a movie screen on the stage?
No, this
that's
is,
a separate event,
Oh, separate,
people will be on the stage in Saturday market, she's having, I believe, the Cosmos do like an open mic type situation, and she's also doing yoga. I believe that the instructor will be on the stage for that as well, so I am happy to reach out to Sursa, I just wasn't sure.
ask for any, like this in general, like even this movie thing, you know, it's at night.
Well, when we do other, Nick gets insurance for the stage,
For
right?
his events though,
For his
like
events.
this is kind of our event,
Okay, that's how you're viewing it, it's like.
that's why.
It's more
That's
like
why I
us
was
doing it.
confused too, is this our event, is this her event? But
Saturday market's really,
it's our event.
it's our event, she's just the
The
coordinator,
host, the coordinator.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
I would, if that's how we wanna view it, I mean, I think so, and then I think it would, that it would be our responsibility to make sure it's insured.
Well, I mean, everything would fall under Sursa. No matter what, but. We wanna see if like that, if there needs to be additional insurance.
Isn't the 4th of July our event too, so does Nick need insurance?
That's the question for Sursa, is whether like they have to get additional insurance. If it's for special events or something, you know. Right?
Yeah, I really, the source's the person to ask, but I think Nick acts as a contractor. He applies for grant. Arranges for the entertainment, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Pretty a little bit out of our touch, so.
Okay.
That's
That's fair.
good to know, see what source has to say.
I will go to
Yeah.
Sursa and ask them and I will let them know what Sursa says. For my next point, I just wanted some clarification on the fire ban ordinance. I was trying to draft it and I was a little bit confused. I never saw where the stage 2 fire ban was lifted. It's still in place currently, so I don't know that you need another ordinance to keep it going. Are we going to a different stage? Is it like a stage 3?
It was supposed to be stage 2 and I don't know if it was formally, it would probably be in minutes of like. The years that we've had really high fire risk. So,
But you do have an ordinance for a stage 2 fire ban already in place.
And then we reenact an old ordinance for stage 2.
It never got taken out of the place, it was never rescinded, like, there's no ordinance after that that says like removal of. You know, the stage 2 fire ban.
So my understanding is we have our normal fire ban that we have all the time. And then we have
Which is a
one,
stage one.
that's a stage one, and then we have the stage 2 one. That we just enact now and then when we need it, but it's the same language, it's the same criteria, it's just. We will enact it, and then maybe a month later, when conditions allow, we will make a vote to go back to our stage 1. But it's something that we have that we reuse over and over again. That is an official ordinance that we can activate or deactivate
So
as needed.
that being said, you don't need me to write a new ordinance.
No, you don't need a new ordinance, we just have a stage 2 fire ban. That we can, and like the mayor can, you know, have the authority to say, we're going to stage 2.
That's what we did
Yeah.
last week. That's,
Well, but you asked me to write an ordinance to go along with it to enact this, so that's where I got confused, was trying to
Well-
write a new ordinance for something that already.
the one that I saw in here is one that Kizen had written in a long time ago, but then there's another one that was written in with when Kyrena was mayor.
Yeah, the one I found was from 2018 and it said like ordinance enacted, I mean, I could pull it too right now, ordinance enacting like the stage 2 fire ban. and putting
I think
that-
the idea is that we put that back into effect. Whether it was lifted or not, we put that one back into effect. And then what, if we can, and then when it starts to snow or we have like, when the county lifts theirs, then we lift ours.
Okay, so there is no need to write a new ordinance, we're just going back into effect on stage 2.
Stage 2. But there needs to be a new updated version of it.
So there does need to be a new ordinance.
I don't think there does need to be, but it's never been taken out of effect. In resolution form either, it's still, like, as I read it, it was always in effect since 2018.
So I think there again, you know, as far as an update, it's just that says, you know, where we have the ordinance that it exists and doesn't change, basically the stage 2. And then we just make a vote that says, due to the weather conditions and the county enacting their fire ban, we vote to, you know, activate our stage 2 fire ban. You know, and then at such a time, we can say we're, you know, we're coming out of our stage 2 fire ban to the regular fire ban. So the ordinance just stays the same, it could even just be labeled stage 2 fire ban ordinance.
Did I do that at the last meeting? And then we discussed the fine and took out the jail time, didn't I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, and then we told Brent to put up the fire things in town.
Yeah.
Fire ban.
I think the confusion is coming in that we have an ordinance from 2018 instituting the stage 2 fire ban that never got taken, was never rescinded. And so I think where functionally REL doesn't know, like, if we already have one in place, how do we put another one in place?
Well, I think what happened was there was we never actually took that one out, but we were supposed to.
Right.
So I think this is where having the ordinance of just a stage 2 fire ban, and it's not date dependent, it's just something we have. That we can, because of fire danger, activate it, and in the past, we've had. We don't destroy or dissolve that ordinance, we just say, you know, we've now got moisture, the county's dropped their fire ban, we are going back to just our stage 1 fire ban. And it's just a vote, it doesn't eliminate the ordinance.
Okay.
The ordinance exists, that we use it as a tool now and then.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's like changing an ordinance every time you run through a red light.
Yeah.
No,
But
So I have a question, Sean had just brought up something about signs. Are they up?
About the fire ban?
Yeah.
What put the signs up, that's normally dictated by, the county fire chief, which is Danny.
Yeah, we've already gone through that last month, they already implemented it. They implemented a higher fire ban, we implemented one, so we just need to have the signs put up.
Okay, and we have 3 signs in the storage unit, and all the posts are still there where we normally post them.
Well, thanks for your input. Once the fire agency and the board is set, this fire ban is in effect, those signs gotta go up immediately. Because if something happens, we would be the ones negligent, so you would inform Public Works that it's ASAP, no excuses, gotta be done.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
From the last time we talked about this, I don't remember you lifting the fine or penalties for that, so is that something?
We stuck with the fine, but we lifted the jail time at the last meeting.
That's what I
don't remember much, but that's one of the few
I
things
thought,
remember.
I mean, I thought that we had, because the signs are put away. We had lifted the fire ban, and maybe it's just in our minutes, I don't know, in the past, and then we're re-implementing that same one, just updating it to new dates, new time.
Okay, so I'm reading it and that has to be done by resolution, so I will draft you a resolution removing, I'll remove the jail time, but leave the fine. Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes more sense, it just needed more clarification on that.
I mean, even if a resolution is set, and she's saying you need a resolution to end it, right?
You need a resolution to lift it.
Lift it,
This ban shall remain in effect until lifted by resolution of the town board of trustees, and any violation thereof shall be punishable by a fine of not more than $26.50 or by imprisonment for not more than 1 year in jail time, or both such fine and imprisonment. So that's also what I'm saying, there's no resolution that lifted it.
So what I would say
This
is-
always this is still in effect.
right?
So if you want me to.
But if it was in effect, then we would have the signs up and it would be, you know,
I just don't, I think whoever didn't know that it needed to be lifted by resolution, but
okay.
still it is in effect,
So-
so it never was lifted by resolution.
Should we make a resolution to lift it?
And then a
And then-
resolution.
And then you can use that same resolution that lifts it for the, when we decide to lift it the next time. So it would be lifting this one, putting the new one in effect, and then one that was ready to be lifted when.
Why even bother
I say
to
why
resolve it?
Why lift it, just leave it,
Just keep it.
it's in effect, just leave it in effect, but make a resolution to remove the jail time.
Yes.
That's the only thing that really needs
Okay.
to change, I
And we
think.
did that last, didn't we do that in our?
That wasn't in your motion. It
I would
was-
make a motion that we remove any reference to jail time, of the, stage 2 fire ban.
I would
Some
second.
of my best friends are, jail.
You talked about it, but if it's not a part of the motion, then it's not really, it's not a real thing. It's not a tangible thing that I can work with,
So this is the motion to lift it?
yes.
Okay.
To lift it.
Well, no, that
No,
was
to
to
take,
remove
to remove the jail time. Is there a second?
I seconded it.
Any more discussion?
Motion is just to remove the jail time, not the fire.
Cause it's already it's already going. The resolution is in effect.
So all we have to do is put the signs out.
But we are gonna need a resolution to lift it when we decide to lift
When
it.
you're ready to lift it, then we will make another resolution.
Okay,
What's wrong with them?
I'm emphasizing our resolve.
You wanna call a vote on the jail?
All in favor?
Alright.
I'm emphasizing the resolve of this resolution. That we are now in a stage 2 fire ban. We have been, but now we are putting signs up and we will officially resolve to take it off when we're done. When the time is
Do
right.
you wanna approve that resolution right now?
Okay.
I know that we're on resolution. 006, you can make a motion to approve resolution 006/2025. And then I'll draft it and have you sign it, and it'll say everything in the ordinance except that
That's what
So that we're removing the jail time.
okay, that's what I was hoping for.
I have a question, I was gonna vote nay on the jail time thing. Is that? If, I mean, we have people across the country that are arsonists and they start fires. We're not eliminate, I mean, that would be
That would be a county, that's a.
a whole different deal, right?
Whole different-
I mean, not just,
Yeah.
Just
okay,
that we wouldn't pursue like an our municipal code for jail time.
even if it burned down some of their house,
Again, I think that would be
that would be covered under some other.
arson, it would be.
Our law, right, you know,
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but my assumption was that we would take it to the county. Like, if someone were an arsonist, then like,
or
that
even
would be
state,
a county
or federal
thing.
level, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, okay, I'll say, yeah, yes.
And so you're saying, now we're going back again, are we redoing this resolution?
I'm just having you approve the resolution that I'm going to write saying no jail time. So it's a resolution saying that this is still in effect and that we're taking jail time
Okay,
off the
so
table.
do you need a vote for that?
Yes,
Okay,
to adopt resolution 006/2025.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution 006/2025 pertaining to the phase 2 fire ban.
I will second that.
all in favor?
Alright,
Thank you. I got that clarification, fire ban clarification,
Want to make sure we're all on the same page.
yep. Now we,
The resolutions are on the same page.
now we have the policy regarding the cameras.
Thanks for digging that up.
Yeah, last time, we had talked about the security and I was asked to like make a policy regarding that, so this is the policy I've drafted. If it was okay with you, then we'll put it into effect. We've already installed 2 cameras so far. One right here next to the greenhouse and then one in front of town hall. And then we have the buzzer system that also has a camera system in it too. And there is a supply chain issue, but there are cameras for inside here as well, 2 for this room, 1 for the office and 1 for the hallway. And I just got an email that the supply chain issue is resolved and they should be here by May 5th. So all those cameras have storage on them except for the intercom. It lasts for 30 days. Pretty much what this policy says is just that the only people really with access would be myself, Public Works Director, and Patty as Deputy Clerk. And we would be using the storage to review if there's like any type of emergency or issue, some type of incident. But pretty much mainly that we're not just like sitting on the cameras all day and watching everyone and being creepy. It's what this policy says.
Okay,
Is there any like, I don't know, like with the, as far as the data retention goes, is there any like? Yeah, like legal policy we have to follow, like it's legal for us to store it for 30 days.
As far as I know, it's able for us to store it for 30 days, the cameras that were already up, from Verkada, we're storing for 30 days.
Okay.
So nothing to my knowledge says we can't store it for that long and then, just delete it afterwards.
Do you need us to make a motion to approve this procedure?
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Okay. And I would make a motion to approve the town of Crestone intercom and video security system policy.
Second,
discussion,
so it's only, anyone. No one can review the cameras unless there's an incident, is that part of it?
We can review the cameras, but mostly it will be for like incident purposes and emergencies. I think the one thing I missed is that the mayor has the ability to request that, information as well.
I read the rules of the camera stuff earlier and last night, but I don't remember them all either.
No,
I'm looking at it.
But yeah, and usage guidelines, Ariel put in, the video feed should be monitored only as needed and not for constant surveillance.
yes,
I think the one requirement that needs to be filled is you have to have signs stating that you're under camera surveillance on this property.
Do we
We will
have,
absolutely put signs up everywhere. There's some now, but. I'll put them.
you have some? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next, is that still part, that was still part of your report, right?
Yeah.
Is there any more on your report?
No, that's all from my report. I can speak to some of the attorney's stuff too, those things he asked. He asked for me to include Bonnie's oath of office in this, packet, so I included that, it's been notarized. By me, notary. The other thing, he had bought it last time was the proposed, like, ordinance regarding drones, and while I was digging through these binders and them, for the fire dance stuff, I found that you already have an ordinance in fact that prohibits the use of drones
Right.
altogether. So I don't know that you need. The ordinance he was talking about like where they could lift off from and where they could land, but this one that's still in effect was. Just says they can't be used at all. So I was hoping he'd be here to talk about this, but I think he's still under the impression that he'd come at 1:30, like at a regular meeting, so,
The attorney?
yeah.
Well, does he have this then?
I'll send it to him, man.
Okay, next, we're not doing an executive session. Request from Swatch County Clerk and Recorder to locate a ballot box at Town Hall. So there's a ballot box request under new business.
Yes, Trish Gilbert has reached out to us and asked if we have any interest in posting, a ballot box here at Town Hall. If we don't wanna do it, they do have other people in mind. There's some requirements that come along with it, including,
24 hour surveillance, right?
thank you, yes.
For like 60 days, and then from before the election started, and 30 days after.
Yeah,
And we have that now?
I think that they'd be looking to install their own
Oh,
thing, and there's some like electrical requirements that go along with that.
The internet too, so you have to contact Cielo, make sure that it's on 24 hours.
I mean, it'd be sweet to have a ballot box in town, or like at town hall, it feels like it makes sense, but. Also kind of sounds like a pain.
I agree. It seems like the logical thing to do, but when you put all the little pieces together, is it gonna be more aggravating?
Yeah,
Is it Dropbox outside, do they have to come in the building to get?
it would have to be
Outside.
accessible 24/7,
Yeah,
so
it
it
has to be
has to be outside.
You have to be accessible for 60 days before election starts and 30 days after, and monitored by camera.
but they'll do everything. We don't have to do it.
Yeah.
If they'll do everything, then I don't
Surprised I
have a problem, then I think it makes sense for us to have one, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in favor of doing it. I think that's a very logical choice, and I think maybe on the far west end of the front porch would be a good location. It's out of the foot traffic and, you know, would be a good place. I think it's a great idea.
I had the same feeling, I felt like it makes sense to have a Dropbox here, it makes it more accessible for, the town of Crestone and the Baca to not have to travel so far to vote. I was wondering how much of like a pain it would be on the day to day, but I don't think it will be much, I think. They just need access to our electrical and our, Wi-Fi. I don't see a problem with that, see maybe our electricity going up a little bit, but maybe not that much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just for a camera.
yeah.
Yeah, so that would be really minuscule.
Okay, so do you wanna make a motion?
To allow for it?
What, were you deciding to do that, Kim?
Pardon?
Were you gonna make a motion?
No,
Okay, I would make a motion that the town allow the county to set up a ballot drop box outside the town hall.
Second?
Okay. Any more discussion? And it's gonna be located,
North or
in
west?
a, on.
I was just gonna say, if we could, see if the county will decide to, make a cover to go over it when, you know, it's not any ballots or anything, because other than that, it would go with trash.
I know the one,
People don't drop their sewer bill in there, so.
yeah,
Well, that or just, you know, candy wrappers or just trash, you know.
the one up at the Merc has some sort of like locking mechanism for its like mouth. So whenever there's not an election, you can't drop stuff in there.
Okay. So, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
What was the second?
Sean, me, Marinakis. Trustee Marinakis.
Oh, it's locked, so nobody's seen ballots, right? You can't get anything.
Next, we have, resolution for the Board of Trustees declaring, accepting the resignation of the trustee. Did we not do that?
We didn't do that, so this is just more housekeeping, it's just to say that you approve or accept Adam's resignation.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 004/2025.
I move that we accept the resignation of Adam Kidney, resolution 004/020. That's 02025.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. What if we didn't accept it?
Really?
Sorry, Adam.
Can we fine them for not showing up?
Huh?
Lot of back pay.
Next, we have D 005/2025, accepting a resolution amending the order of business as established in resolution 004/17. So that is, this one's for,
This is the order of the agenda, this was also requested at the last meeting, I pretty much just grouped all the reports together, that got closer to the top. So if that looks okay to you and there's no other changes you want made,
I make a motion, we approve resolution 005-2025.
I second the motion.
did we talk about having citizens' comments on the beginning and the end, or did we?
we had talked about that before, but if you want to add that, then I would just ask you to approve an amended 005/2025 and you could have citizens' comments in two places if you'd like.
The only reason I thought that was because that way people can make comments based on our meeting if they should. We used to have it at the end of the meeting.
But then citizens that wanted to talk had to wait for the whole meeting.
Well, that's why we did both.
Right, so it's on number 6, and yeah, we could amend it to after old business correspondence.
Yeah, I like having citizens' comments at the beginning.
What would be the beginning and the end? So there would be two opportunities for citizens. Because that way, like, comes in at correspondence and we have, if somebody stayed for the whole meeting and wanted to speak, you know, how, Brad used to do that. I'm just saying that it's just.
Sure.
Okay,
So which number would you like,
either before correspondence or after, like, how about you make it before correspondence? If there's nothing, we just go
I don't
through.
wanna see correspondence at the end of that, I think, because those are things that quite often people are writing about something that's on the agenda that we're gonna be dealing with, and then we might wanna take that. Those comments or correspondence up in the meeting.
So directly correspondence.
I just think correspondence and citizens' comments should go together.
Okay, so how about we do correspondence after the first citizen's comments,
Yes.
right, and then we do citizens' comments at the end.
After all the business.
Old business, perfect. Okay, so the motion is to accept this resolution 005/2025. Amending the order of business established in resolution 004/2017 and 003/2024. All in favor? as amended. Okay, next we have a Crestone intercom security. Let's see, old business, let's move Ms. Spence up to the top so that she can speak. Hello.
All right, and Dewey Spence representing Fox Lake Gallery. First, I'd like to address this notice that was taped to my door that I received on Saturday as I was closed on Friday. I accept this without prejudice, however, I do want to discuss, the discrepancy, so. I put in a core request this morning, for video recording because I was unable to find it this weekend as I went looking for it. I had to, as you guys remember, I had a lot of people in here that were in support of the business. And due to my busy life, I did go and confer with Shoshana, because she's a business owner across the street. A couple other business owners just asking like, do you guys remember the motion that was said? And I feel that what was written in the minutes is not the full motion, so I would just like to review the video. I'd like to request an opportunity for possibly us to review, for everyone to review it, because I feel like what was put in the minutes is not exactly what the motion was put forward by.
Let's read back the motion from that.
The motion I have from that. Here's the notes that I have under 101 South Alder Street notice to quit appeal. The board discussed the 101 South Alder Street notice to quit to appeal regarding Fox Den Studios. Trustees reviewed concerns regarding repeated disturbances and ongoing complaints, emphasizing the primary importance of uninterrupted town hall operation. Dewey Spence, operator of Fox Den Studios, read a prepared statement defending her compliance with lease terms, disputing allegations, and expressing concerns about targeting and unfair complaints. Trustees acknowledge community support for Dewey and her business. Several residents provided public comments supporting Dewey, suggesting alternative solutions, including improved soundproofing or relocation of town hall functions. Oh wait, this is not the right one. Is it? This was the first one, and then we talked about it at another meeting.
But there was a motion at that meeting?
I don't think
There was.
It was February 10th. Was the motion, and it was the only discrepancy I find is at the bottom, which mentions the motion put forward by member Lockie. And I remember in the meeting, you wanted to clarify before everyone voted. There was like please, let's clarify what we're all voting on.
What I remember was I asked.
Sorry guys, I missed part of it. Trustee agreed to give additional time while considering operations. Trustee Lakai motion to allow Dewey Spence occupancy until October 30th on a month-to-month basis.
October, no.
April 30th, sorry, on a month-to-month basis with a final decision scheduled for the regular April meeting. Trustee Maninakis seconded the motion. Trustees directed the clerk to ensure clear communication regarding meetings outside normal business hours. The vote of the trustees was unanimously in favor, and Mayor Byer declared the motion carried.
Okay, that's not what I saw online, which is weird. It took a while to find it. It said. It was completely different worded. I wish I had the ability to print it, but the one I found online
This is the
said.
one that this goes directly to our website, so
Huh.
click on our website and I
It
have
said,
not touched
it
this.
said everyone, I understand, but it said that everyone voted to have me out by April 30th.
Yes, it says that you have
Okay.
occupancy until April 30th.
Okay. What I believe, I remember, as well as a few other people who were there, because I did ask for some clarification, because sometimes my memory was not the best, I'm a very busy person. Was that you guys would readdress the issue in April, there would be another vote. And that I would be notified of a 30-day notice to vacate.
No, so I clearly remember asking, I said, what's fair for you?
Mhm.
And you said, if I could have till April 30th to be out, and that's what we voted on specifically, that's what I remember.
Yes.
Clearly, you were sitting right over there, and I said, what is fair for you? And you said, It's not fair to just have 30 days on this one, so I need up until April 30th. And you agreed to that, and so that's what we made the motion on. And we did bring it up at the other meeting with the lawyer, stating that we wanted a letter specifically stating what we agreed on. And that's what this is, even though you got it a little late, because there was gonna be more of like we didn't wanna be as heavy-handed, we just wanted to remind you of that. And so that's where we're at, is that you had agreed that you would be out by April 30th. We made the motion that you'd be out by April 30th, and that was,
This is why I wanna review the video, because I believe that it was said before it was voted, because there needed to be clarifiers on what they were voting on. That you guys would have the meeting to discuss whether or not there would be a continuance. And that I would be notified of what the results of that meeting were. And I would be said, okay, we decided not to continue, and May was brought up in the discussion before the vote. It was mentioned, which is why I wanna review the video. I have multiple people saying, I remember them saying that they would bring it to a vote and I would be given a notice of the 30 days to vacate, which would possibly be the end of May. Does that sound fair? So that's why I want to clarify exactly what was said before.
well, we can watch the video, but we have the motion for
Can
specific.
I clarify something too, because this is something that came up with trustee Mamonakis as well. No matter what is said during discussion, doesn't matter, it's like only what is in the motion that matters. So at the end of the day, when she made that motion that says April 30th, like, that's it, because we could talk about things all day, but those don't apply unless it's included in the motion, so if it's April
I
30th.
understand, which is why I want to watch the video, because I thought it was clarified before it was voted on that there would be a vote to decide whether or not I would be notified. And then I would have till the end of May to vacate. I do want to mention also that, there is a mention here that I've already been moving out. I said in the meeting, I would notify you guys the moment I found a place, so that if you knew I'd be out earlier, because it is something that I've been working very hard on. I've been in email communication. I haven't gotten, apparently the lady who manages this building is quite busy, but Vivian is moving out. And she will not have the space ready by the 30th. So I do have a space to go to, which is awesome, because that's what I've been working towards nonstop. But this is why I want to review it, because I thought walking out of here, and if I'm wrong, I totally understand, that's why I want to review the video, that there would be the possibility of staying until May. Yes.
So I am remembering what Benjamin says, and that as we were originally at the position where you needed to move out within a very short amount of time. And that's something that, that's something that was happening. And I was one of the people who felt like, okay, let's give you a little bit more time. And I remember that we were very clear that it was going to be April 30th. And the other notice is if say back in March, we decided we really need to get in that space, we would give you 30-day notice to be out April 1st. If there was anything that was going to be shorter than the April 30th date, then you would be given the 30-day notice. But my understanding of it, that we really set that April 30th deadline because you have to be independent. And the only reason we might have had any other discussion is if for some reason we wanted to extend it or we wanted to shorten it. And without any other action by the board being taken, the April 30th is what our motion said. This is what you were informed with. This is the date. And so I would really ask you, I feel like as a person who said, all right, let's give you some more time, let's try to work with you, that we did that. We worked with you, we gave you more time, we gave you plenty of warning, an extra couple of months there to be able to make your arrangements. And I don't feel like it's really appropriate to come back to us and say, I need this or I need more. We're all adults here. We're all adults. We gave you a lot of extra. So please just go with that agreement and do what you need to do to move your business.
I hear what you're
You know,
saying.
we're kind of at the point where we just have to state, we're good.
I understand. This is why I feel like I wanna review the video and why I requested the Cora thing, because if it's my misunderstanding, that May was not mentioned, but I feel like when I walked out of here, May was mentioned as an option. For, we will make the decision, we will let her know what our decision was, which I was not informed of that decision until I got a letter on my door this Saturday. So there's that lack of communication that I'm dealing with, where I was expecting, and if my expectations are wrong, then I accept that, but I was expecting a 30-day, hey, we made a vote, here's your 30 days to get out. When I saw this on the door, I was like, perfect, this is my 30-day notice, awesome, because I had just emailed her saying, I would love to get into this space, let's talk. Shoshana knows the landlady and has already sent a recommendation letter to her for me. And when I saw it was a 4-day to get out, I have the idea of having to move everything into storage, and I understand you guys were very reasonable, gave me the time to get out. I have very little rentals in this area. I have been working nonstop.
The thing is,
calling
you
people,
had 25 people here come in,
which is why I want to
and
talk.
they were here to support you. They
Yes.
should support you. That we gave you what you needed, we gave you the extra time. Now it's time for them to step up and support you and give you, if they, you know,
Yeah.
they might have storage, they might have something. It's like, you know, the town's kind of just like
I understand.
giving, you know, I specifically said, what is fair for you?
Mhm.
And you specifically gave me April 30th, and we specifically made a motion to set that.
Which is why.
And now you're still kind of pushing it though.
I'm not trying to push.
You
it.
are, you're kind of like, you know, we're busy too.
I understand that.
You're not the only one that's busy.
I totally.
You're kind of
understand.
wasting the time because we also spent the lawyer's time coming up with that to remind you
Yes.
about your agreement.
And I called him, I spoke to him this morning, I even called him this weekend, none of his contact info is on this letter, nor is his letterhead. I did look him up, I spoke to him this morning, he said just talk to the town. And find out if you can clarify what's going on. The other thing I wanna address, I just made bullet points, so I can make this quick. Is that I wanna review it because I believe that May was mentioned in the clarification, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
Well,
this is what I
the thing
wanna
is, the
do.
clarification
And
is the motion, like we were gonna keep saying this, the
If
clarification is the.
properly,
Just
Should I
whatever
let
was
it
said in
just-
the motion counts, not anything, not any discussion before.
The discussion doesn't matter, it's the motion that you said you were gonna be out, but we made
That's why I
that
wanna
motion.
review the motion that was said by Lockie, that's all.
Okay.
I just wanna hear specifically what was said.
When the initial lease was signed, you stated
Mhm.
that it would only take 2 weeks to get out if we needed that space.
Not 4
2
days,
weeks.
this is a 4
Listen,
day.
this is at the
We
beginning
gave
of the
you
lease.
2 months.
Anyway, we agreed, okay, yeah, this is not working out.
Mhm.
So April 1st was the deadline. Kizin was kind enough, and I thought it was a little overboard, but was kind enough to say, well, let's give them till the 30th.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, this is just gonna drag out even more. Now you're talking May, I don't recall ever that month coming up. It was
That's why I
April
wanted- that's why I
30th,
wanted
and
to
I thought that
be-
was entirely too long.
Because I thought in April there would be a vote and then I would be given.
We made the
30-day
vote.
notice.
We made the vote.
I understand that. I thought I would be given notice of that and I was given no notice.
That was the
And that was my
notice.
question.
That was your notice.
4-day.
No, the notice was the day you showed up.
As a
We
renter-
gave you notice.
By Colorado state law, as a
We gave you
renter,
60 days.
by Colorado state law, as a renter, I am given the right of a 30-day notice in writing. Let's just say you guys decided to extend it. I needed a 30-day notice by law in writing, and that is my only issue. Here's the last issue I wanna bring up. Because I was not given a 30-day notice, I paid
You
rent.
were
You were
given,
given a notice.
you were given 2 months' notice. You were given notice
Not in
from that.
writing.
We were giving you a notice before
Not in
to
writing.
we did give you the notice and we extended that
So.
in writing.
Okay,
I wasn't after the vote was made.
so I think where we are, from that meeting, you were given notice,
Mhm.
what was it, 2.5 months? 3 months' notice, you were given notice, you were sent a letter, there was the motion of the decision that the board made. We were very clear on what you were told to do, whether or not what your understanding or whatever is, you were given an official town notice, and you need to abide by that notice. That's where we're at right now. There's
I was
no more,
expecting a 30-day notice.
no,
on
there's
my
no
door.
So
more
did you
extra
not,
time.
did you not get the notice when you
Yeah.
came here the first time, you had a notice to leave,
Yeah.
we extended that
I understand,
to
I
April
was
30th. So
told
your
it would be
notice,
closed, and I would be notified.
we gave a vote
That's why I
on
wanted to do the
April
video.
30th, that's what
I
the
was
motion
told-
said, you can watch your video, Dewey,
I wanna watch
you
the
can
video
watch the video,
to clarify.
but
this,
here's the
but-
thing, Dewey,
I'm sorry.
here's the thing, Dewey. Are you gonna be out by April 30th if you watch the video?
If I
And-
watch the video and that's what it says, absolutely, I will have a day to pack everything and get out, which is fine. But I would like to review it because I thought that the words of the motion were, we will bring this to a vote in April and we will notify you of whether or not we're extending it or giving you the 30-day.
Okay.
So, and that is, I want the due process of that because I feel like that is appropriate to at least clarify for me and for everyone else. I understand your frustration. The fact that you guys were going off a rumor that I was already moving out when I said I would notify you is, I feel unprofessional. And then also the last thing I wanna say is that, there is a state law that says as a landlord, no matter whether you vote on it or not, as a landlord, you have to give me a 30-day
We
notice
gave
in
you
writing.
notice though,
I
that's
don't
why you
have
came
any
here. Didn't you get a
it's not in
notice
writing.
to
You
quit?
did get a notice, I gave it to you and I sent it certified to you as well, and you signed for it.
So
That
we
was-
have
that was-
February that said.
Yes, but you guys
needed to
voted,
be
you guys voted
To
to
give you
rescind
a
that.
little extension.
And so I
No,
know.
we
that
gave you an
you're-
extension.
If you rescind the last 30
We didn't
days,
rescind it,
you guys
we
voted not
extended
to
it.
do it.
we extended it.
But then I need another, I was expected, I can't. follow
You got the
guys'
vote, look, you were here. I asked
When
you
you voted.
specifically what was fair for you, Dewey, and you said specifically April 30th was fair.
May was.
We
mentioned
worked
in the
on that,
May was mentioned in the meeting.
You're-
and I
you're
have
just
other
trying to
people
see the-
telling me no, because I.
there was
I wanna-
no mention, we talked about it, between you and me,
It's mentioned in the
we
meeting. and she brought it
specifically
up.
said. Order. We specifically said April 30th. It's in the motion, it's clear, we extended it
Last
for
thing,
you.
and I would like my rent back that I just.
We
paid
will
on the day
happily
that this
happily
letter was written.
refund you.
Thank you. Why did you accept my rent? And then send me, put a letter on my door the next
Your
day?
stuff's in there.
That-
Your stuff's still in there.
This rent
You
is
owe
paid
for
for
May.
the, no, I are.
You owe for April.
We'll
I
happily
already
refund your
paid
rent.
People, this is for, cause my rent starts on the 17th. I was paying for the next month. And that is why I
We
didn't
will prorate
understand,
you.
put yourself in my shoes, you
Prorate it.
paid,
Yeah.
I didn't get the 30-day notice, so I said, okay, maybe they
Do it.
extended it, I didn't
We
get a notice
had a
yet.
meeting with 25 people in here where we came up,
Next one that happened without.
it
me,
doesn't
I was-
matter. The notice was before we extended it to April 30th for you.
As a landlord, whatever decisions were made in that April meeting, I needed to be notified of.
The only decision was to write a letter to you to remind you about the April 30th.
I would have appreciated when you guys made that vote, I'm just
Okay.
gonna put it forward.
No.
To have a
April
notice
30th
saying,
is the
"Please, we
date."
voted on it, please, now you know that we decided not to extend it. I had no idea, I assumed maybe you guys extended it, I have no idea, because there's no notice. And it's
So,
not,
as a trustee member, you were given and agreed to the date of April 30th. You had plenty of notice. You need to do what you said you were gonna do and what the town requested of you to do. There's no more discussion on this. You need to be out by April 30th, and I suggest that you ask your friends to help you store your goods. But there's no more discussion here. You need to be out by April
well, state
30th.
law would say.
No,
other-
we're
state
done.
law
We're
would
on
say
to
I
our
need
next
a
We
30-day
will,
notice.
we will grab the notice to quit and we'll use that.
April 30th, I was never given a 30-day notice before
your-
April 30th to be
this
out, that is state
conversation
law. It is over, I'm gonna get my refund and then we will deal with. the
This
lawyer's stuff. Thank you so
conversation
much.
is over.
Appreciate your time. Four-day notice is not legal, thank you.
We'll get the one that was certified. To you.
That was,
That was not rescinded.
yes, it was.
No, it was
We're good for
extended.
either
It was
day of state
extended.
law.
Excuse me for jumping in there.
No, Dennis predicted this.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, what's our next agenda item?
The next one is grant monitoring site visit for the 29th, which is tomorrow.
This is just a reminder that we have the grant monitoring site visit from the Office of Emergency Management regarding the 2022 grant. I need to double check with Allison what time it is exactly. I noticed it for 9 AM, because I assume they'll be here in the morning. But I know that a few trustees that expressed interest in being here for that site visit. So this is just to remind you and give you the slides and the kickoff information that they had sent to me. Mostly, I believe that they're looking to see what we've done with the grant itself, but also looking a little bit into like our office procedures and how we do things administratively. I've given them everything that I can, but they'll probably have some recommendations on various parts of our policy and procedure.
So,
I was just gonna ask which grant is this?
This is the mitigation grant, the building resilience infrastructure in communities.
Did they give you any idea, are we gonna go out in the field?
I don't really have much more than what I provided in the packet. From what I understood, it was more like a discussion. We were gonna sit together and I know I had to send them a lot of information. I had to send them all the checks that we've written. I had to send them like our budget and some of our other financial information. I had to send them policy that we have and like disseminating information. I sent them a lot.
so this is something that supposedly came up randomly. It's not like we were chosen, we were actually like elected to do this. I don't know how it happened exactly, but Allison McClure is obviously the one that's gonna be helping with this, so I'm kind of trusting that she's gonna, take care of it,
I think she'll be fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to be there can be there. I will not be able to be there. I thought I was gonna be able to, but, I can't, so, anybody who can be there would be great.
We're meeting here, right?
Tomorrow,
McClure is Myra's mom, right?
correct.
And then there was an old Allison that was
Allison.
clerk here, and then there was Allison who was the treasurer here. There's like a lot of Allison.
Allison Rye, who was the clerk here and still helps train me from time
A
to
long
time.
time ago,
And
she
then
was
there's
clerk,
Allison with an I who does our grant administration for this grant in particular.
I just met the older Allison, the one that trains you sometimes. She was trying to help find my neighbor's cat. Diane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She's really sweet.
yeah, she's nice.
Ariel,
Yeah, they will be here in this building, and Allison will be here as well to help facilitate.
Allison McClure.
I'm just saying, we probably won't need transportation. I mean, if we had to go out and say they can use their own vehicles, I guess.
I would imagine, I also have a car. I can drive people.
Are you expecting to be here to meet with them?
Yeah, I expect to be part of that.
Okay.
9 o'clock, right?
Tea and crumpets,
We'll do it.
should we?
Oh, yeah, Allison's bringing the team from so. I have to double check the time. I looked through all of my correspondence with them and I never saw a time. They just kept saying what day it was, so when I noticed it, I made it for 9 AM. I just want to double check with Allison that that's correct.
So going back real quick to Ms. Spence, I would like you to notice that we did have for her, have that ready, just.
I have a file for like
Okay.
literally everything you do.
That's what I told her yesterday. I was like, I remember so much being talked about, just what was said in the actual motion is what counts, not anything that was said before or after. I don't remember.
And I have the video as well.
Yeah, I thought April 30th was way too long, but I just went along with it. And,
I was
you know,
surprised too by that at the last meeting. I want to, and I came here also like, wanted to give her some extra time, but I didn't think that much either.
yeah,
I think that I think we should have gotten the letter to her sooner and it would have avoided a lot of this. Whether or not it's like actually our responsibility to do it legally, I do agree that our previous notice was never rescinded. We gave, and now we're
Extended.
suffering for being kind, which sucks. But I wrote her that letter And then that's when we triggered, like, well, let's get Seth to write a
So
letter.
your draft never went to.
It never went to her,
Okay.
and so
I thought
that's,
it-
I feel
thought
like
it did, yeah, and I thought.
that's
she
where
had-
we should
That's what I was
have,
telling
like, we should have just covered the base, knowing that, cause we all knew this was gonna happen. We should have just covered that base and gotten the letter to her sooner, so that like this, to help avoid this type of shit, but.
I wanna say, I think our attorney drags his feet too much.
Yeah.
Timing in these issues is always important,
Yes,
and I can see this going on until June or July.
because if I were her, I would, I'll probably also be upset.
Yeah, I would be.
Well, you're
I
gonna
would
use
do
anything and everything in my behalf, and historically, courts, I'm not saying it's gonna happen this time, but historically, courts rule in favor of the town.
Well, we rented apartments down there for years. And somebody could move in without a lease and stay 90 days. In the state of Colorado, landlords have no rights. And you know, you can't put their stuff out on the porch, cause then you go to jail.
That's right.
And, it's a nightmare, to be a landlord, and I agree with Benji, let's not do that anymore.
Like at the last meeting when I had mentioned that, I was kind of confused also on what was said exactly in that motion or what was discussed before and after, because it was so long of a talk before and after that I don't remember everything.
I mean, there was definitely discussion in that conversation. We did bat around the idea of like, oh, maybe we should like rescind this, maybe we should be giving like that. I think her saying that she heard that, she's not lying. I think it was part of the discussion, but ultimately the motion was what it was.
I remember all the discussions, I don't know exactly what the motion was either.
And that's why we write it down.
Well, what I think we need to do
Yeah.
is break out the documents that we have, that was a notice to quit. And we never rescinded that,
So that.
all we did was extend it,
I didn't know if that counted as a 30-day notice, that was extended further out.
that's why this
So
whole
no
thing
new
happened,
notice was
because we had a notice to quit, huh?
So no new notice was needed, because that was the 30-day notice, and then we voted to extend it. Yeah, I didn't get that until you told me last time.
Yeah, so I mean, she brought this whole group here specifically because we gave her a notice to quit.
So you're gonna be back.
And my thought would be, now we have to work with the attorney to really, nail down, I mean, the problem is that it extends the time even longer, so it's just gonna be another.
When she called me, I guess today, when I was telling you, I was like, whatever was said exactly in the motion was it, but I thought you already got notice. And cause I heard you were moving stuff out already, and she was like, no, I was just taking stuff different places and bringing it back.
Well, that's my fault, I saw her moving boxes out of here, so, knowing that she had that April 30th deadline, in my mind, I was like, okay, that's movement on.
I thought too, I thought she was moving out also.
Yeah.
What was the date of receipt of Seth's letter? That's certified?
No, that was just,
I sent both, I sent everything that I did to her, I also sent certified to prove that I gave it to her.
But was it before?
The one she got from the attorney was sent certified on Friday, but the one that asked her to quit, that got sent back in like January.
Okay,
Ariel, what would it take to confirm what she is claiming as far as watching the video during the discussion? That would probably take a lot.
I mean, I have it,
I mean,
right, we can all watch it
I
together.
mean, what she said, if the motion said that, she's fine with it, if not, then she's not,
Yeah, well, I don't wanna tell you what to do, but if you got it, you get it to her as quickly as you can, say, here it is. But I got a feeling that she'll keep twisting around that May deal, just cause she heard it in the meeting.
I have a feeling it's gonna get twisted no matter what, because this has been something that's been pushed off since like 2022, 2023. We've been dealing with this, like she's had multiple notices to quit, somehow they've not come to fruition. You extend it months and months, I just think
There's been no follow-up.
there should have been like more documentation, there should have been more like a lease should have been signed every year, like we're gonna do tenancy for people, you need a lease like all the time, not just one at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so there's an option here that the lawyer had put in basically that, you know, if we follow the eviction, she's gonna have 90 days.
And if
But we
it
could
takes
do that
him,
right away. How?
if it takes him 10 days, 20 days to get it to her, that'll just be added on.
That's what I mean, what she said here, if she reviews the motion and it actually said word for word what we said. And would count, nothing counts before or after, that she's willing to do that and get refunded.
Well, that's,
So that would be the easiest way.
that would be the
Yeah,
easiest way.
get it over with really quick.
But then we're gonna be going into, next meeting cycle before we actually get anything, and it's just gonna keep dragging.
Well, I think what Sean's saying is by her word, if you showed that to her today, she would agree to wait.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Immediately.
I think we just have to get her, we have to get her the video and then, like. Stop dealing with this, like, this, and just, and just deal with it with the lawyer, and yeah, don't, like, I mean, part of the problem is that the letter just got to her. Like, we asked him to give her this letter a while ago.
Yeah,
I know Seth's busy, I know we only get so many hours, but like, it has been detrimental because now we're back in this position.
Well, part of the problem is he wasn't here, so we didn't have. This is where the communication kind of got lost, where he didn't understand exactly what we wanted. So last meeting, he came forth with that, with an eviction letter.
Right.
And it was nothing that we had asked for. We asked for him to remind her of what we had agreed on in the motion. And he could have had, so all I gotta say is, I would like to entertain a motion that if she's not out by April 30th, that we start moving forward with an eviction. If she's out before then it's fine.
Okay.
But
So
I,
we're actually looking at
can we just watch the video now
Midnight
and
of
get her to see it?
midnight of
Like,
April 30th.
show it right
Oh,
away,
May
and
1st.
handle it right now? Like,
You can do both, the motion and show her the video.
So it would be either midnight.
well, that way the process is already in motion to start. And
Yeah, I said I was gonna recuse myself from any of the stuff with the rental.
That's
just
fine.
'cause we're kind of friendly.
We have-
I'll make a motion that we send an eviction notice immediately to be out on
It,
the,
not immediately,
on the 30th.
30, it would be the 1st of May. Starting on the 1st of May is the,
The person could have till like 11:30 at night, midnight, when you say April.
Right,
So
well,
say the first.
the eviction process is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
He gives an eviction letter, then she has to meet.
90 days.
And I think that's what she's fighting for.
Right, it like gives
So
her.
we
more-
give an eviction process
There's professional,
after he
Yes,
doesn't
it
move
needs
out
to start
with her
with
agreement.
they don't.
Then it's 90 days
Yeah.
before,
Yeah,
the 90-day process.
yeah, I think that if she gets this video and she decides that this was said and that was said, and that means she gets this amount of time, then we just need to. Yeah, like Aria said, do the legal, and like you said, do the legal process, get that started, make it happen, make it official, and stop talking to her. Altogether, and we'll give her more time, which is,
And they have to pay rent.
yeah, she'll start figuring.
Just, you could cut your losses and just kind of grant her till the 30th of May. It might save you a lot of heartache because of the eviction process that gives her 90 days.
Yeah, but what is she
You
gonna
know,
get out with?
if, I thought of that myself, but I see that end of May coming up and her coming to another song and dance.
Yeah.
And then the eviction process isn't started yet.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's.
We're damned if we do.
So it seems to me that this discussion actually should be taking place in an executive session.
No, we.
I mean, if we're talking about legal actions.
But she did say here, if the video, the motion says April 30th, she should move out by April 30th. If we refund her the rent she paid for next month, so that seems the easiest way.
It does.
No, I'm saying if we're talking about doing anything other than doing the April 30th, then that seems like we should consult with our attorney about different further actions. Right now, I feel like we were very clear and she agreed to April 30th, and I'm not sure how all the landlord rules run. But when you have somebody who actually agrees to a date, that's something that's really official now.
Ariel, I have a question for you. If you were to invite her in here to see that video and hear those words, would you need someone else in here with you?
I'm going to give her a thumb drive with the video on it. I don't know that I need to like sit with her.
You have the video, can you fast forward literally to the motion?
I
Right
have
now?
it up. I have where it started, where she started talking. I could probably find where the motion was made.
Yeah, maybe we could just bring her in here and let her watch it in front of
No,
us.
I mean, can we listen to the motion?
It'd probably be good for you to review it first.
Yeah, I like to listen to it.
And I think that Andrew makes a decent point about whether or not legally, with our attorney's advice, to go for a 30-day notice. That's something that I think we should consider, unless I feel like we gave adequate notice. We gave like 2 months, more than 2 months notice.
Dana's draft was really what good to send, but that was like 6 weeks ago, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And in that letter, like, it said that if you don't abide by these agreements, which included the dog thing, and the marijuana thing, and these other things, then we can terminate your lease sooner than April 30th. And in a discussion, like the next week, it came up that her dogs were in there and they were barking. And so we actually were very motivated at that time. That's when we said we need Seth to write a letter about like get out on April 30th. And then just that all got severely delayed.
Well. Yes, I think we should hear the video before we set it up.
At least just the section that,
I don't wanna prolong the
yeah,
meeting.
just the motion.
Like the discussion before and after doesn't matter, just the motion.
We can
Can
We
we,
could take a subject matter and discuss this and that kinds of things. And then it's what we actually come to as an actual decision that's important. And so the discussion is just discussion.
This is what I texted. I seen that with the minutes. The video would definitely be the best proof what was said word for word in the actual motion. I'm not 100% sure, but my best guess, just what was said in the actual motion, word for word, would be the only thing that matters, regardless of what was talked about in the rest of the meeting. So that was right?
Mhm.
Okay, that was it.
So are we gonna listen to it right now?
do you have it right there?
I don't know how technologically our audio is currently being used for the Zoom meeting.
Right.
So I don't know that I can also.
Is
Do you wanna
possible
send it to me and I can play it on my computer?
With the meeting.
Or switch, can
Or
you just
go
send
to
it all?
executive session for it.
Yeah, I can send it to everyone. It's gonna come as a Google Drive link because it's so huge.
Yeah, I don't wanna sound hoggish, but I'd like to get to the organizational chart
that being
before the
said-
end of this meeting.
Yeah, I would
He
like
just
to,
came into me and said that Dewey is demanding her refund now. Am I just giving her the whole
prorated,
prorated how
Prorated.
much?
well, what? I have a question.
I don't understand how, I've never understood how her lease payments work or when they're supposed to be, and they come in whenever during the month. So when Patty took it, she thought that she was paying for April, because she came and said, I'm sorry, this is late as well. So that's why Patty took it into the office, because she didn't realize that it was a May payment.
I would say that move to give her money back shows better faith on our side in having her to skedaddle. And so,
I would give it back.
yeah,
Yeah,
Just give it back.
just give it back.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I think I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure that's what the motion said, but I don't, it's, 3 months ago almost, I don't remember exactly.
Well, I'm happy we're stopping our rentals, because this is
Yeah, it's a lot easier, yeah.
outrageous, actually. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. We should not be renting.
If the motion said that, then she said she'd be okay to leave and just give her, refund her, and then that would be it, right? Hopefully. Dennis jinxes us.
Famous
I
life.
know Crestone fishing.
So she might be getting April for free. But whatever,
It's worth it just to get it over with.
do we need a motion for
To give return of money? If you
Um,
want, or I don't think
There's
so.
also a motion on the table right now, is no motion to send an eviction notice.
No,
immediately
I didn't
to
make that.
Dennis.
I didn't know.
Dennis made the motion,
Oh,
and it never got seconded or voted on.
Well, let's cancel that.
lack of second.
I'd like to make a motion for tenant's request. We return her last monthly rent for tenant's request.
I second the motion.
What is the motion?
The motion is to return at the tenant's request, return her last month's rent that she paid. Whether it be over or under.
Which she claimed was her main rent, something like that.
All in favor?
I,
Gotta get a second first.
Oh, we got a
oh, I
second.
second.
Oh, you did, okay. I
I abstain, I said I will abstain for everything. With Patty from the last meeting we talked
We'll
about.
get you later. Don't worry.
Okay,
Okay, I just sent it to everyone.
Do we all wanna watch it now and continue this discussion, or do y'all wanna take it home and bring it?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe somebody look at it and see if we're putting our mouth in,
see,
I do think just like as a recommendation, we probably should move forward with that eviction. Motion, the lawyer said very specifically, like, if he sends a letter, she'll have 90 days. If you don't do that, then we're waiting on the May meeting to make a motion to start the eviction process, like. She's gonna fight it no matter what, you should probably just have like the legal
okay,
behind it.
We don't have to use it in 1 month of one.
yeah, so on May 1st, it would have to start.
eviction.
Like trustee Lakai said, give her until midnight on the 30th, and no matter what the video says or how it's interpreted, then at least you started the process, and there will be no more of this like 1 more month, 3 more months, 4 more months, it'll just be 3 months done.
I would entertain that motion, anybody wanna make it?
I do, but I don't remember what it was.
I had motion to send an eviction notice.
Hang on, here it goes.
Hello.
So I just got back in touch with the lady there. She says her tenant's not out until the end of the 30th. In a few days. I cannot get my lease signed and moved over that fast, and I'm asking you guys to have passion. To not make me move all of my things into storage and then all of my things back in a week. That's all. Let's leave it with that. I tried logging into Zoom so I can see what's going on, they won't let me.
So you can move in the first?
She said she needs some time to get the place cleaned and she's giving her tenant time to get out. Her lease is over on the 30th, Vivian says.
There's no guarantee that that tenant's gonna leave.
What? Her lease, she's moving out. Her lease is done. She's moving out. I've already spoken to Shoshana.
Which unit is it?
The corner unit right there.
Vivian?
So how,
Cause I found a
How
place.
how
I don't wanna
many-
be here.
when does she say that that space will be available?
She said she wants to meet with me tomorrow to talk about the details in the lease. But her tenant will not be out until the 30th. And so
And
I'm
then
left with
when the
that.
tenant is out at the 30th, what is she telling you?
She says we need to speak about the lease and meet, and that's gonna be tomorrow. That we can talk about a lease. That was an email I just got, so.
I have a question, I'm not trying to be sarcastic,
Oh, that's
I'm
okay.
just looking for information. What if the details of the lease don't meet your satisfaction or hers?
I'm pretty sure they will. I've already spoken about the price and everything. So, shouldn't be an issue at all. Can I ask what you mean by the details of the lease?
Well, I'm just repeating what you said, you're gonna meet with her tomorrow
About the lease,
to talk
take a
about the
look at it.
details of the lease.
Well, yeah, so I can look at like what the terms are, I'm a pretty easygoing tenant. It's less space, but it's perfect because it still allows me to keep my shop open. So. That's all. I don't want to be here. I'm not trying to drag my feet to a pain in your ass. I don't wanna fucking be your guys' tenant. I wanna get out of here and I've been working on it for months to get out of here, and this is my one opportunity to do so, and I don't feel like what was said in the motion is what was written down, and that's all I wanted to get through. I'm not trying to be a pain in your ass.
So, to the board members. I think we all wanna see this resolved. And I would consider allowing her 5 more days till May 5th to vacate her premises, but I would request that you sign a written statement that you say that you will be taking everything out of here by noon on Monday, May 5th.
Okay.
And if you would sign such a statement saying you agree to this, and I would propose that we give her the extra time so that she can make this move. I don't think any of us wants to have a battle going on here, and what our goal is for you to be able to move into a space. So that's what I would propose, and I would make it into the form of a motion that we grant her an extra 5 days to noon of May 5th. To be able to vacate the premises on the condition that you sign a written statement that you will be out of this space by that date, and that you lay no further claims to this space, that there's no further claims, that you will be out by that date. That's what I would suggest.
That's how they word it in leases is room clean. In other words, no trash. Nothing like
Yeah, that it be left clean, that it be left clean, and that you have no further claims towards that space. And that you
So, do you
will,
wanna repeat the motion then?
Motion to grant President an extra 5 days until noon on May 5th to vacate the premises on the basis that she signed a written statement agreeing to such with no further claims to the space, and that it be left room clean.
Okay,
Is there a second?
yes,
I'll second.
so that,
do you agree?
that would allow me, if she like has a different movement date, for me to at least get everything into storage and not have like a couple days to do so. Because
Do you
honestly,
agree? Do you agree?
yes, because the notice on my door to leave in 4 days on Saturday was rattling, so.
Okay, all in favor?
Wait a second.
Yeah, Kim seconded. All in favor?
Abstain.
Aye.
I hope this works out for
No.
you.
Thank you for having a little
Nick.
compassion.
I'll have a
Do I
written
need to-
statement for you.
Okay, thank you.
You get my name? You get my name?
I wanted to vote nay, but I want this done. I'll just.
Yeah, I have SM is.
That kind of helps absolve the town from having to go for that 90-day stuff too. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
Moving right along.
Still gonna have the
Can
letter,
we get that to her today?
are we still gonna have the eviction letter written?
I think you should still proceed with that, just to be sure, you can always rescind the motion later, or we can.
So then it would be after May-
You don't have to do it,
May 5th.
but I did have that motion on the table, motion to send an eviction notice, immediately from Dennis. Didn't have a second or a vote.
Can we amend it so that it would be after May 5th?
Maybe if
So
If she didn't get out by May 5th,
then we
eviction
will.
we'll go
Yeah,
ahead, so.
But it's got to go, I mean, we can't sit on these damn things. And that's what happens. You make these things and we forget about it, we get busy on something else.
With a lot of things that happen, we see.
Yes, yes, a lot.
So I have a motion to send an eviction notice after May 5th if the tenant has not vacated the property.
Noon on May fifth is when it
I would
starts.
say, I would send a date specific.
To send an eviction notice on May sixth. If the tenant has not vacated the property by noon of May fifth.
And what's that, that ends up being a Friday or something? Thursday?
I'm so sorry, does this mean I can talk to you about a refund
They
for the rent?
voted on it, right?
Okay,
Yes, and I'm
Okay,
gonna
thank you.
prorate the refund
okay, thank
based
you,
on, and I'll have the written statement and.
okay, thank you.
May fifth is a Monday, and May sixth is a Tuesday.
Do we need, I mean, do we need Seth to write that, or is that like a?
It'll take him like 6 weeks to write it.
No, he's gonna write
He
it.
had written down before that he presented last week, but we weren't out of point of eviction, then
Okay.
we just wanted him to write a letter just reminding her, but what he took that as was like, start the eviction process, so he does have that drafted and ready, but
Okay,
I asked him not to
Okay.
do that, cause she had said she was gonna be out by the 30th.
but he's got it
That's
ready to
too
go.
strong.
Okay, cool. And so the motion is to send that on May sixth if they have not,
If they've not vacated the property by noon of May fifth.
okay, I would second that motion.
More discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So abstaining again.
Dennis?
We're voting on the,
Sending the
May
eviction.
Alright.
Send it on the first and just have a note there, stay of execution.
they'll give it a reason to fight again.
Yeah, I know.
We'll do what we said, yeah.
Okay, now moving right along to site visit confirmation package, we got that done, right?
Yep.
Site visit kickoff meeting. That's tomorrow, is that the thing for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good, Allison's,
Allison,
Alright.
she'll be here, I'll
I'm
be here.
trusting Allison as our grant administrator to be able to do that. Revising the town organizational chart, Dennis,
Yes,
let's get that done.
I have a question about that. I had drawn it up before you guys. Where's my? The only concern I have in making it up, if you got it clarified, is the building inspector. I'm concerned that, to make sure that it's clear on what his duties are, should it be titled more zoning enforcement? Because like I had said before, we don't have a municipal building code. We don't do building inspections in the normal way that title.
But are we screwing that up because all of our code says building inspector? And it's gonna be like that same thing, or we're stuck with building or administrator again, and then we have to like fix all the code?
So easier to leave the title.
Well, the exception is that if you read through our municipal code, when it relates to zoning, that's a specific category that talks about zoning districts, what can be built in those districts, setback requirements to height, and that's as far as it goes. In use, of course.
But it's still blocking somebody from building if they are not following that. Right?
That's true.
So, I mean, it is still somebody inspecting before the building.
Yeah, that's technically what it's supposed to be, and that's supposed to be part of the permit process.
So all I'm saying is that if we change the name of building inspector, when our whole code is based on building inspector, we're gonna come across that issue where it's like, well, now you don't have a building inspector, you have something else.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate here
Okay,
for conversation.
I mean,
So could it be building inspector / code, zoning enforcement officer? Or not?
You know, I think it just overly complicates an issue. What it really comes down to is what are in our definition, what are the duties of the building inspector? But a building inspector is kind of a industry standard name for the person who inspects whatever needs to be inspected in order to issue a permit to build. And so that's kind of what it comes down. They issue a permit to build, and what they're supposed to inspect comes down to the town's criteria. So I think without having to change all of our everything, building inspector is enough of a generic term that I think we could just live with it.
Yeah, I would agree that we might, like, it would be more effective for us to amend job descriptions rather than titles because of how the titles have been so baked into our code.
And when we start interfacing with state code, or even maybe federal code, but they say it's building inspector, and it's just, you know, it's kind of a universal name for things, and, does the town have a building inspector? We can go, yes. And, if the county wants to know if we have a building inspector, yeah. So,
Where is building inspector on here? I don't even see it on this, new one. You could, is this just an example that you created?
This is just an example, this one is one I created, back when I had originally asked about the admin thing. I didn't have time to change it again, but there are some changes I would make, like I would put building inspector, under clerk. And the way that I would change clerk manager
Clerk
to
administrator.
clerk administrator, and I would have those arrows coming off of clerk administrator to treasurer, public works and clerk, cause right, that's what I meant to do,
To
but
clerk.
right now, it just looks like it's just on treasurer.
Right, so that's, okay.
Ariella, I've got this that you sent here, and which number is the organizational chart?
It's 2024_12/2/4/2024.
The one that's active right now.
No, sorry, the one that's active right now is saved as town of Crestone.
No, your new,
This one.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
It's under, old business. It's in old business.
2024_12/20.
Got it, yeah.
So. This looks good, I do, so the main thing I've been thinking a lot about with administrators, one of the biggest issues that we've gotten into with our administrators in the past. Is the hiring and firing thing without them coming to the board, because then it ends up that there's a gap between. It's like, it's under that person and not necessarily under the board of trustees anymore. And so we've been stuck with who that administrator hires, which causes much more disturbance than the administrator itself per se, I mean.
Can it just
So-
be like a mayor's approval? Would that be?
No, it should be board approval. I think hiring and firing should always be under board approval. The administrator would then be able to recommend if they need somebody for specific tasks or whatever. And kind of start the hiring process. Does that make sense? So like,
Absolutely, I don't want like executive power to make decisions on anything that 100% is you guys. I'm just here to make the things happen, is like that's how I see my role here right now, is like, just to make sure whatever you guys motion or approve or don't approve. That's what moves
Or
forward.
you talk about like the people like hired. Contractors hired to help out with the trees and town cleanup? Or-
no, what I meant was, when we had, I'll just, because I was here when Leslie was here, Leslie hired her own treasurer. She hired, yeah, we didn't even really have much of a choice. Not that, you know, and that lasted for like the length of this contract, it went and it was intense, and we had a lot of yelling and screaming in here. Because we kind of had to trust her, but we didn't necessarily trust her.
All hiring and firing should be met with board approval, that would be like a good motion.
Yeah, but she's, Ariel's already doing administrative work, it's just our code says administrator, but we don't have an administrator.
You're the town administrator too?
No,
I'm IT, I'm HR.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
Said public works, yeah, I'm dish cleaner.
The house, and I just recently met, that was trying to find my neighbor's cat, she was telling me too, how it's like so many different things, how
So-
they had back then.
So this town used to be ran by a husband and wife back in the day, right? I mean, before you guys, before we started becoming like a town, it was actually two people running this whole town, right?
Well, there was several times, because there was Jack and Stella Harlan,
There's,
he was the mayor, and then there was the people that lived over there. Where Zoe's living,
So
Yeah.
the fact that we have less people now is just kind of like going back a little bit to the way it kind of used to be.
well, and there was only 50 people that lived
But
here.
there's only 150 now.
Half of them
Okay,
kids.
there's,
Trustee Put, or Mayor Pro Tem Putnam's meeting, please.
there's something, that, I noticed when we started this reconstruction process. And I was looking for information and couldn't get it. This was before your time out of our own office, and went to other, state and county agencies. And talking with an employee, someone who was appointed or hired, talking to a board member was an uncomfortable situation for the people that I was asking the information from. I didn't like it. I didn't feel that it was fair, but what I'm getting at is staff would rather talk to staff. Staff is more successful in getting information that the board needs than another board member going to, let's say, for example, the county and saying, could you give me the, help me out with that? They just expect to communicate.
Yeah.
Staff to staff,
Right.
not staff to board. So, I think this is, pretty good here.
It's different, it's gonna be different though, the clerk administrator would be, then it would be clerk under that, and then treasurer.
I would have
So the-
clerk admin, I would just put arrows to public works director and clerk as well. There would be 3 arrows under clerk manager, and it would be those 3. And then I would also add building inspector under here where it says process currently.
Right.
I do, yeah, and then with that, the town administrator job description. I think we should really look at that and amend it so that it fits into what, what we're all talking about right now, like in it. It starts off with implementation of policies, like I think that that's great, and I think Ariel's already doing that, and that's like part of the load that we put onto her. But budget management, it's like prepares and manages town's budget, we've now removed that from, we've functionally removed that from administrator. I don't think we want the administrator to be solely responsible for the budget, so I think we would take that out of the job description.
Yeah, and I think that would go under treasurers.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be solely, like, I think it's something that I should participate in and I should help you and work on it together, because it's also good for me to know. But I think it says like solely, and that's where I also included what I could find about town administrator currently. And there's points on there that I think should be removed. It's like the hiring and firing under point B, doing the budget under part D. I mean, there's A through T on here, and I don't think that your admin should be doing all of those things. Acting as an ex officio member on all agencies, boards, commissions. I don't believe I'm an ex officio member. But that was just like some of the things I saw, and then the one that Dane is referring to is like the research I did about what other town admins generally do. Which a lot of it does make sense, but budget shouldn't just be. And budget
I would
should-
like a specific budget officer, like we had Adam was
The budget officer.
budget officer. But somebody has to kind of, step up to that position. And it could be a board member. But I don't think that, I think that you could kind of like. What it says here, prepares and manages, it's like prepares with
The finance committee.
finance committee and the board,
Trustees.
and the board of trustees. The town's budget,
Cause legally the budget should always be under the board of trustees, that's your domain.
right,
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is,
Leslie prepared it and
this is intense.
Which one?
Exercise supervision and control over all applicable executive and administrative departments is really like a lot.
You know, but the fact that a almost $3,200 bill got passed us, has got me triggered still.
I understand that.
And I thought we had put all the safeguards in, I thought everybody was in understanding how it was gonna go, but to just take that and run with it,
well, that's definitely something that, you know,
But then Warren's not here.
huh?
Then Warren's not here.
thanks a lot. You just jinxed it, luck of it. Yeah, so, you know, I am, if there's any adjustment that needs to be done, and I maybe I'm stepping into this too fast, I would like to see us adopt, this version of the organizational chart. And if it's up to, you know, if we need to make adjustments in the wording,
We do. Well, it needs to be,
does that have to all be done at once? It
If
probably
you have to
should.
pass this per resolution, I don't have one prepared, but. For the next meeting, I could have the full resolution, I could have the organizational chart with the. Edits that we just talked
Okay.
about, and then maybe a draft of the town admin job description.
Yeah.
Could be, based on what we've also talked about and.
so let's quickly go through that job description, just so that we, the
Do you
first.
want me to do one, because the one that's in effect right now is the 2022 one that's point A through T.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's the 2022-0712. That's ours, and then there's the one Ariel provided that's more. 2024 Colorado Town Administrator job description.
Oh, I see it, okay.
Which is a lot shorter and more concise.
So. Should we just quickly read them and, that's long, it's 2 pages.
I mean, yeah, so. I mean, I think like if people look at them right now, you know, do we wanna scrap the one that was written by what's her face or? And use the Colorado recommended one, or do we want to go through this and?
Alright, well, let's pick one of them and just kind of, I think, Ariel, you're kind of gonna be creating your own description. The main thing is obviously hiring and firing and grant management and stuff like that is not part of your duties. And then the budget thing could be adjusted. You kind of know that. I mean, I would just say, take those two, kind of combine them into one
Together and bring you a draft.
draft
And
of,
a draft resolution.
right,
To look over at the main.
Right.
meeting and make a final decision.
yeah, and I would put administrator in there. And then we can vote on that at the next meeting as well.
There's no difference between administrator and manager, right?
The only difference is that we have to keep going back to our codes that we have in place right now.
Yeah,
And it says administrator is the wording.
but technically, they kind of mean the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like there's, you know, like what you've been doing, Ariel, is like implementation of policies, operational oversight, public relations, compliance and reporting. It's like those, like you've already been doing those things, and like the things you have been doing are like the administrative role.
Can we abbreviate it as admin clerk treasurer?
And the
Clerk. Treasurer administrator.
Okay, I like that, clerk CTA.
And
Sure,
manager.
I like that, CTA.
It's a CTA.
Yeah, as we
that.
as we have talked about before, even though we might have one person doing 3 jobs, it's important to keep those individual job descriptions, because
Yes,
those things can
Yes.
move around, and it's good to have those descriptions. I think it is important to say that the administrator will work with the treasurer for doing the budget. Not only does that mean that the administrator, that's part of their job, but also with the treasurer's job description, helping to prepare a budget with the administrator is also part of their job description. So both departments have the responsibility of working to prepare a budget. And then that prepared budget goes to the board, and then the board makes a decision, and in the past, we would have that be presented to the board, and then there was a budget
Yeah, but
financial committee.
we were not, there wasn't, well, back in the day, I think it was just like the treasurer created it, we brought it, and then we went through it as a board, as a work session, and then we would approve it, but I don't remember ever being as intimately connected to the budget. I don't think anybody was as we are now.
Yeah, and I think we saw the problems that developed because they wasn't.
Right.
And I remember years ago, we actually had a budget committee, which is now like the financial committee, who, like, usually 3 board members would take that budget and then go through it and work on it, and then there would be a final presentation to the board. So whether it goes, goes from the administration to the board, and then the board can look at it and say, we want to have a budget committee or financial committee do another review.
I do think preparing and managing, preparing it would be with help, obviously, so it should be, and then managing it is gonna be with help as well.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so just adjust that to how much help how you wanna say it.
For sure.
I see what she's saying, though, what Kizen's saying as far as, trying to keep each of these jobs separate, because if for some reason you start getting to the point where you're like, this is not working anymore, we can pull treasurer out.
I 100% agree on that, and I think I've told you multiple times, I think you should still try to find like a real treasurer. Like, I can keep things organized, I can keep things on the wheels on the bus per se, but like, I've never had an accounting background or,
Right.
degree.
No, I know.
So if you ever do find someone, I think you should hop on that.
I mean, how much do you think it would be really difficult to have Andrea be treasurer for us?
I don't think she wants to be
No.
your treasurer, that's what she's said many times, so she does want to be your bookkeeper. And I think for right now, her and I working in tandem
Okay.
is working well, but I will always say that if you find someone who wants to be treasurer with actual like accounting and experience, and then yeah, you should hop on that.
Do we have, do we have a posting for treasurer stuff?
No, I kept it up for like 3 months and then you guys are gonna be treasurer and I took it down to make space in my board, but
Maybe we should put it back up. I mean, it's summertime, like, people are definitely, I don't know, like, it's a new season. It's not summer yet, it's spring, but it's a new season.
If you do that, we're not training anybody.
No,
It's gotta be someone with
Yes.
experience,
yes,
which leads me into, am I wrong in thinking that, the fact figures that she would give us as a bookkeeper slash accountant would be sufficient enough for someone who had no accounting experience to be labeled a treasurer and just be able to fill the statutory requirement?
so that's what's currently happening.
Yeah.
I would say with me, like, she's doing most of the like bookkeeping, accounting stuff, and I'm doing things like the day-to-day things like payroll, paying bills. We've got categorizing things, cause she's not boots on the ground.
Managing the bank accounts.
Managing the bank accounts, and I'm also doing like compliance with like reporting and whatnot,
So
so.
you're really doing the whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
For someone who's not experienced, you're pretty good at it.
It's really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we wanna advertise for a treasurer, but tell you right up front, no training.
Like, I feel like if you do that, you should have someone who, not just accounting experience, but someone who's probably like been a treasurer and who also has municipal experience.
Yeah.
But I'm
That's a
saying,
big part, right?
so they're already like well aware of all the tiny things that can pop up.
it's a very niche.
So it is a niche thing, and I understand that's probably why no one applied before, because you don't wanna just bring anyone in again.
I just wanna go like 3, 4 things back before I forget. I wanted to make a motion for all town hiring or firing needs to come before the board for approval or denial. Does that sound
You're
good?
making that motion?
Yeah. Well, we
I
were
don't
just,
know if we need that motion, cause that's how it's already happening, we have the hiring committee and everything goes before the hiring thing, like I don't hire.
I was going, we were talking about like, a few things
I
back.
think that should be included in I think essentially what they're saying is in the town admin job description currently. It says that they have the ability to hire and fire as they so choose, I think and suspend as well. Just taking that out of the job description altogether.
I think he's trying to make it kind of official that it goes through us,
Cause you
but
said about all those problems before.
yeah, it was a problem, but it already is in our hands.
I would say, I don't think you need a motion, cause it's like you already have that in place and when and if you do go through an admin, it won't be in the description, so. I'll never have, no one has it now and no one ever will have.
So it's already in place.
So it was out of place to what, earlier?
It was in her job, in the administrative job description,
Leslie's,
Leslie's, we
Yeah,
gave her the power to do that.
did it already get taken out of her job description?
That's what we're working on.
We don't have an admin right now, so there's no one fulfilling that role, no
But
one
if we
has
hired
that.
an admin, then it'll be back in the description unless we remove it?
Ariel's gonna remove it from the description.
Oh, okay.
Ariel, functionally, we need a town administrator because of how baked into our code it is. But we do not like the job description, so Ariel's gonna amend the job description. And then we're all gonna review it and approve it, and once we approve the job description based off of our past information, then we'll make Ariel the town administrator.
So save it for another time?
Well,
We don't need a motion at all. No one will have the hiring and firing ability.
No one has that ability.
so we're coming on
That's fine.
lunchtime, I think our attorney is planning on being here, right, at 1:30.
He said he was gonna be at this meeting.
So how do you guys wanna do this? Because we could, we don't have much more to go, I just wanna, try to, I mean, personally, I have to go pay my property taxes at the county, and so that's a.
Is there anything you need to talk to him about specifically? I could check with him right now. But we really don't have much more on.
The only thing is that you could talk to him about this thing that we have, that we made a motion for regarding our tenant, and then everything else, unless he has something, I don't know.
You want me to follow?
I would. I'd like to not to involve him. If we can, I mean, I know he's got that. Evacuation, or not evacuation, but gonna be an evacuation, eviction. And maybe just warn that we might have to institute that, but outside of that, I wouldn't get him involved in anything else. Then you might call the waters. What do you think?
I think that's fair. I'm gonna draft her a written statement today and give that to her and I'll call him. and
I'd
let
give
him
him-
know.
He is not gonna be at our next meeting, that's the only thing.
Yeah, he doesn't need to, we don't need to have him today. We don't have a list of things to talk about.
So let's quickly, then finish this meeting, if we're gonna not have that with him, and maybe you just meet with him? Okay,
Yeah, I talked with him a lot, so that is some of his 10 hours, is like,
yeah, but I'm saying,
keeping him up to date and keeping me up to date.
you could meet with him at 1:30 if we end this meeting, but I just wanna, see if there's anything else on here that we need to.
We've got a formal decision on how to move forward with town hall structural grant.
You wanna table that? Or do you want to-
That was, C. Right,
Did everybody get a copy of the engineer report?
I sent it the last meeting, I emailed it to everyone as soon as
Yeah.
you emailed it to me.
I would say we should buy us more time. And just put out that we need more time to still consider it, and it just seems like. Even though it kinda is like. The foundation of of our place, we need to maybe have it done. I don't think anybody has the bandwidth to work on this project right now. I don't think, you know, we would have to go out for bid. We would have to accept bids. It
To
would
fix
be-
this place up?
Mhm. So if we buy ourselves more time, again,
Keep in mind, it's gonna have nothing to do with the inside.
Structure.
It's just the structure underneath.
and it's a match.
Just this corner here.
And it hasn't moved since didn't you put like a mark,
I use a pencil.
did it move at all?
No.
And it's a match, 50-50. So we would have to have the money to spend or sorry.
And if you ever decided to sell, as long as it's part of the disclosure, there's no liability on our part.
We could even add the engineering report as part of the,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna sell, we might. Okay, but I just say, is it pretty easy for you to do that extension? Like just saying that we need more time?
I did it once and it was pretty easy, so I think we should be trying.
I would say we need another year to figure this out. And that just buys us a year. It's gonna come quick, but. In the meantime. I mean, we just have. Even getting back to the basics, we have a lot of stuff on our plate. Unless somebody's like really motivated to jump in and start doing extra work. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. I mean, maybe like, even like Allison McClure or somebody like that who could run it, but then it's a 50-50 grant, so we still have to, I don't know, I mean. We almost need like somebody who can run grants.
I was gonna suggest that I don't think we would hurt to, maybe not on staff, but as a contractor, have the grant administrator, someone who's solely focused on like. Sourcing grants for town, making sure that we can fulfill them and kind of doing what she's doing now with the for 2022.
Right.
I think that could just be beneficial in terms of bringing funds to the town and also not getting so like behind or bogged down on them as well.
So maybe is it something that we would advertise for as a contractor position?
Yeah, I would do like as part of like your bidding policy, so you could see like what people are asking for rate wise, so you have like a few people to choose from and see what their qualifications are and expense.
The POA has one, her name's Val, and she's pretty
She's
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, about
Grant manager.
she's a grant manager, but I think she does get paid by the POA, but they have a way bigger budget than we do.
Yeah, I think she's actually on staff,
Yeah,
and that's why I say maybe not like a staff full-time position, but.
Oh, doesn't she get part of the grant too?
probably.
She does get paid through the grant, but that's also kind of how Allison McClure's been operating here too, is that she gets paid by town but reimbursed. We get reimbursed by the grant.
Okay.
So one thing is, you know, until we start getting reimbursed for the grants that we already are applied for, I don't wanna apply for any more grants.
We're pretty extended out there right now.
We have a lot of money out and we have not gotten reimbursed, so
Yeah.
let's like hold grant stuff until we start seeing some reimbursements back. That's number one. Number two, Allison was interested in doing like a county sales tax grant for that campaign we were talking about to slow Crestone down. She said she'd be interested in doing that, and that's kind of an easy grant, but I think we should probably maybe put it on the agenda for next meeting as like a grant. I don't know, like possible search for grant, manager or administrators.
So we want to just do the paperwork to get the extension on this grant right now,
Yes,
Period.
period, okay.
okay. Is that good? Do you need a motion for that?
No, that's okay. I've been directed and I will work on submitting this grant by, you said at least a year.
I'd say a year from like May 1st or something. Any other pressing issues?
No, I will say for code compliance, as a report, I just today got 2 applications for compliance officer. So I'll have those on the agenda for next time, unless you wanna see them, well, but I would want them to go before the hiring.
Yeah, so maybe just send them to the next time,
Yeah.
sir.
How would that go coincide with what we did at the last board meeting with, Ernest and being,
Was it code? Asked him to do building inspection, but not code compliance. So I just got two people who actually want to do the code enforcement part. So I'll send those to you.
Let's look at it, we don't have to do anything. It's not one of those jobs that is required by statutory. You know, we don't have to have one.
All we had talked about was maybe like changing it, I think Nathan talked about wanting to be safety officer or something. We have people who want to be code compliance officer.
So next meeting, when we, because we're gonna have, we would have, correspondence moved up towards the top, and then we would have like citizens' comments in place, so now would be in place,
Yeah.
it's in place, so I'm gonna call just a quick citizens' comments, just to see if anybody wants to do it.
Okay.
Because we're already now in that.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So anybody wanna do citizens' comments? Anybody online wanna do citizens' comments? All right, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Thank you, guys. 12:35.
Go to that public works meeting being on that.
In the afternoon, right? On the floor,
I can go inside like this.
here.
Set up the time next week.
Yeah, so email, why don't you text me your availability?
Dinner? I told Donnie that if he's not gonna make our meetings, at least to tell us.
Yeah. Last time I talked to him was just a few minutes before the meeting started. He said, I'll see you. I'll see you later. But he was worried about getting everything done, even the mom.
That's why I.
Are we off the air?
No, do you stop the recording, Ariel? Recording.